scared to roll.
You're scared to roll.
I'm scared.
This is a no-stakes roll.
Good. Use the good numbers.
Okay, so
Hooray. Well, you got the 2 highest rolls, so I guess you get to pick how this goes. Personally, I think you should do it because it was your birthday.
yeah,
It's true.
It was my birthday.
lots of things happen for you.
Surprises.
Surprises!
Surprise!
Birthday surprise! You know, some people get, really nice gifts for their birthday.
I got you a nice gift.
You did give me a nice gift. Luvia did not give me a nice gift.
I think you gave yourself a pretty nice gift.
I didn't give me anything. Johnny gave me. I think you should tell me what happened.
I thought you were recapping.
I thought I was too, and I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Oh God. We started, and I was like, oh God, how, we're getting ready to do, like, the night before the Grail War, but I'm like, wait, shit, when are we going to the Grail War? And then, it was revealed that, the viable start point of the Grail War would be October 17th. Full moon, because, moon stuff.
Moon stuff.
Moon stuff. And I was like, oh my God, that's like 2 days after Penelope's birthday. So I assume that the night before we leave for the Grey War is not the Grey War, the Grail War. Damn.
War between the Grails.
Brain. Okay. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, okay, so it'll be Penelope's birthday the day before they leave. And so we were like, all right, cool, party time. It was a very small, sad party because people were either prepping for the Grail War or going places or were too far away or were nerds like Buck. And then Penelope gave everybody friendship bracelets. They're really cute. Annis gave Penelope a present. It was cute. It was a music box. Penelope heard like whispers and shit. And then she's like, oh my God, here's a distraction. And then everybody was like, oh my God, what the fuck is that bird doing on the roof of this house? And Aiden apparently just has never seen a fake bird before. I don't know.
He's seen exactly one.
And then Penelope was like, all right, cool. Aiden is well distracted by this weird bird shit. So, cool. And then she was like, hey, Johnny, let's go off into this corner. And then she was like, hey, Johnny, I have a surprise for you. And then she popped evacuation. And Johnny was like, oh my fucking God. And then Penelope was like, yeah. And then they went outside and they were like, hey guys, woo. And then Penelope gets a text and Annis is wanted for murder. Ah, woo. Wait, no, that's not a woo.
That's not a woo.
No, that's not a woo.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a boo.
Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, quite.
Quite. Yeah, no, Annis is wanted for murder. And the murder is that of Luvia, who is now dead.
No.
someone chopped off her hand.
Gross.
Oh god, that's gross. And that hand had the command seals on it, presumably. Also gross.
I hope that her hand just didn't randomly chopped off for no reason.
People are weird.
Mm.
Yeah, and then Fidan was taking Tatiana to safety at Clock Tower with Luvia. And we're all like, fuck, we gotta get the fuck out of here, because policies is on the way. And no one wants to deal with La Policia.
That is true. That is true.
So we decided to say fuck it, and we snuck past the guards at the greenhouse and went down to Dream's End, and then like we're all like, all right, I guess we're here now. Fuck. And then Penelope panicked and was like, oh god, what do... Clearly the only thing you can do when someone has been murdered is
Yeah,
just immediately marry someone. So, like,
Yeah.
that's a thing that happens.
Oh yeah, that's totally
Um,
normal.
I legitimately did not...
When you put it like that, it's extra funny.
Yeah, right? Like, legitimately, I did not plan for that to happen last week.
You're good.
You had no
God, that was,
idea you had that prepared.
shit, I panicked with you.
I think I legitimately just panicked because of the murder.
You had no way of knowing that Aiden just has had ceremony on deck
Okay,
this whole
but
time.
You want to know how many times he has joked that he has had it?
It's true.
Yeah, no, I believe it.
Because he has a crippling addiction to holy water.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've made so much.
When he says that he's gonna make that super soaker full of holy water, I fully believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it hasn't left.
But yeah, so I think that's everything. I might have forgotten something.
We proceeded to name every single NPC that we could think of, so that in a few months, when we find out who killed Lovisa, we'll be able to be like, "See, we called it." Because
There
if you
you
name
go.
everybody, we might have named a lot of them off screen too, though.
Facts.
Do
Point
any of
two.
you happen to have the stream up?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the cool view.
Yeah. I was wondering if any of you played with that before. I just started messing with
not.
it while you were recapping.
Wait, we can do that too? Whoa, how do we do that?
There's a camera button in the top right of the map.
I found it.
What?
It's like Google Earth, but for your map. Oh my god.
It's very confusing to move around on. I would just use it for cinematic purposes, but
What is
yeah.
it?
On the.
It's view mode toggle.
Oh my god! No, okay, no, it's not on the Twitch. It's on the map itself. If you
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that anyone can
Oh.
do. I just put it on the Twitch one because it's more dynamic.
that is so. Oh my god!
Who's moving me?
What?
I'm being moved.
I'm not moving you.
Oh shit, it moved me. What?
Are
Alright, I'm
you
putting myself back.
moving yourself around? Because I'm not moving
No.
you.
I was doing the toggle and moving around. I think it just like yeeted me.
Okay, there's one up at the top. This is like view mode toggle camera.
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't like
it's
that.
so weird.
I don't like that at all.
I would not try to play with that, but I think that actually makes the stream a little more entertaining.
Hmm. I'm not gonna mess with that too much. Crashing.
I don't blame
Yeah.
you.
Fair.
Like, I'm going to use it mostly to keep things interesting when we're in talkie scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it comes to combat, I don't think it's a good idea.
Oh, that's fair.
Not at all.
But yeah, they added a bunch of features, and I guess that's why every update is big.
And crashes people's everything.
I feel like they just keep pushing the system recs up every time they do this. But yeah, here we are. So that all happened. And after all those antics, let's see. The current time is 4:40 a.m. on the 16th, the day before the Holy Grail War night of the 17th. So you have approximately a day and a half in Dream's End before you're kind of obligated to go pick a fight with the butcher.
Ugh.
Joys.
Yay!
Let's get this sorted.
Okay. I assume Penelope's just gone
yeah,
to
let's-
fucking sleep.
Oh yeah, Annis was in her. I don't know where.
I just dragged you all up there to dick around with the camera thing.
Oh.
I'll move you back now.
Ugh.
I was still sideways. Whoa, getting a little frisky there.
It's a little too frisky. I don't know how this
Ooh,
works.
oh,
How do bed work?
Eric
There.
just went straight through the wall. Doors, we don't need them.
Hey, we decided to make this easier for you to navigate, so here we are.
Okay. Moss doesn't get a bed. He's stuck in the kitchen.
Wait, Diana.
I don't know where Diana
Okay,
is.
so she's
That's
not-
true.
I legitimately do not know where she is.
I started typing my reply to you for where she was, and then other stuff kept popping up, and I never actually sent it to you. But don't worry about it. She's not dead.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Like, we made a whole room for Diana, and she's not there. So,
No, Diana got delayed on the way here on account of she's currently covering for your asses with Clock Tower.
I didn't get to add Diana to this.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. I was sort of being like, I mean, I didn't add.
I'd say she
us.
doesn't know that, but
I didn't add.
she
like,
knows that
Annis,
now somehow.
Penelope Ryden to the list.
What?
Oh, don't worry. She's keeping track of this.
What?
Oh, I was saying how I forgot to add Diana because she's in the same category in my head as us player characters because she
Yeah.
is
Adding her to. Adding her
the
to
list
what?
of people in our base that. we
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
I'm
So,
just giving Artie shit.
Fair. Is Freddy gonna sleep in the kitchen or not the kitchen, the storage room?
No.
Freddy can sleep wherever Freddy wants to sleep.
Freddy's being an emo bitch.
Oh, okay.
Freddy hangs upside down from the rafters.
You know.
Oh
I
my
wouldn't put it
god.
past him.
Crawling in my skin.
Derek's gonna be so upset in the morning. He's like, "That's
I
my
think-
thing."
I think at some point, Annis
Derek is not emo.
absolutely jokingly asked him
He's
if
dark
we
and
needed to put a
mysterious.
coffin for him to sleep in, and he didn't
Oh my
talk to her for like
God.
3 days.
How rude.
Like, Derek is currently suffering from the fact that this guy is actually closer to Batman than he is.
That's what I'm saying. He's like,
But-
"That's my thing."
He doesn't want to be Batman, so... Like, he
Ah.
acknowledges that Batman is cool. He does not want to go through what Batman goes through.
It's
Altogether, he's a pretty well-adjusted human being. Or
Proud of you,
half-elf,
Derek.
whatever.
Proud of
Like,
you.
like, he's a nerd, but, like, he's not taking the wrong things away from the things that he's reading. Like,
The
he knows that
sadist
being
person
Spider-Man
is
is
you.
suffering.
I finally replied. Fuck.
He'd rather be like a Ninja Turtle than a Superman, Spider-Man, Batman.
God.
Yep.
Probably, yeah.
Just give him a shell. It's fine.
Get him a
Turtle would be
turtle.
so excited.
Polymorph him into a turtle, get him that AC bonus he desperately needs.
Oh god, yeah.
Okay, so
At some point in those 5 months, surely we got him some better armor. Like we got.
He's
Annis
a
armor.
monk!
Fair.
He doesn't get better
Oh,
armor.
fuck out.
Annis is already passed out. Annis barely made it into the bed.
I
I,
didn't-
I'll talk with you about what he did get, because he's not exactly the same. He did get stuff, but we can do that
cool.
between sessions.
He passed out on top of the covers, but she wakes up under them and doesn't even question it.
Yeah. Them's the life. So, explain to me in the map of Penelope's room. Is that like
Yeah.
a giant bed, and then there's the
Yep.
separate bed?
Okay. So Penelope's room is divided into like 2 rooms technically. So the one that has like the giant bed is the room that she is sharing with Johnny.
Uh-huh.
The room that has the slightly smaller bed is like she's treating it as like a chill room / this is where Diana can go if she ever decides to fucking show up.
Got it. Designated guest room.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Annis has stolen Shalara's desk and repurposed it for her own.
Then Penelope is just like, of course I get 2 rooms. I get what I want. No one can stop me.
She requested the fancy tile work, and Annis just did it. Where did we get the giant bed? I don't know. Where did we get the giant chair? Don't know.
Don't worry about it. It's all in storage.
Yeah, yep. All spider-free and clean and not dusty.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I assume after all the antics of the party and then terrassing down here for like 6 hours, you're sleeping?
Oh, Fantasy Grounds crashed on you?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm working on restarting it. What did you say, Will?
So, given you were doing party stuff and all of that, and then you essentially had to suddenly spend 6 hours traveling down here, I'm assuming you're going to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had my few sendings, and then after that, it's like immediate sleep, so I can wake up as early as possible.
Okay, well, considering it is 4:40 a.m., if you want to get your full night's sleep, you'll be getting up at like 12:40 p.m.
I have to have a full rest.
Until she's told, fuck, we need to get up.
I don't think Annis used any actual spell slot.
I used a
or
lot.
anything. So she doesn't really need to sleep. So she's probably not going to get the full 8 hours.
That's fine.
I won't get like a point of exhaustion, right? Just only if I stayed up overnight.
Like, you won't get a point of exhaustion if you're still getting like 5 or 6 hours of sleep once.
Okay.
You obviously can't make a habit of it, but for once, yes, you could do that.
Yeah, I think she'd definitely pass out for a few hours, but like if something woke her up, she wouldn't be able to go back to sleep.
Right. Okay, well then I will advance the clock for a little bit to account for Annis, and then you can tell me you're doing anything, and then for the rest I'll sync up to either when you wake them up or when 8 hours have gone by so they can get all their spells back.
Yeah. I think I'd let them sleep for 8 hours. So, okay, how does sunrise and sunset and stuff work, A, in this mansion, and B, in Dream's End in general? We would know by now.
Yeah, you would know by now. So the deal is, like, the sky in Dream's End looks like you're essentially looking at the surface of water above it. And it does have a day and night cycle. It is pretty much corresponding to the day and night cycle that you're familiar with from, like, the normal world. In terms of, like, seeing a sun or a moon, there's a bit less of that. Like, you see light sources moving through the water, but it's a little hard to distinguish because it looks like it's like if you're underwater and you look up at the surface, it's just very bright in one area. But it does seem to continue to go on a roughly 24-hour cycle as far as you can tell. So you have analogs to day and night, but you don't exactly get like a full sky full of stars or anything because it's so diffused.
But like, so there's generally a part of the day where it's brighter and then a part of the day where it's darker.
Yes. But nighttime is never truly pitch black. And because like whatever light is up there does put things, it's like in when you're watching a movie and they're representing nighttime with like that blue hue. Like you're kind of getting that. Like it's not, you know, bright enough to read by, but like you don't get true pitch black darkness. Which for those of you with low light vision means life is fine. For those of you who don't have, like, you know, dark vision, low light vision, because I guess they don't actually have low light vision to this vision. If you don't have dark vision, like, it's still challenging to move around. Like, you would still get penalties, but you're never in pitch black.
And then here in the mansion, I guess, unless we actually go around and snuff out all of the various torches and lamps and things, pretty much always kind of lit, but not like electricity spotlight type light. Okay.
Yeah, like inside of this place, you can pretty much it's like when you're on an airplane. Like, yes, there could be windows, but for the most part, they adjust the lighting based on the time zone that they want you to sync up to. So you can kind of dictate what day and night are within this place yourselves.
Cool.
So far, I'm just operating in the assumption that you're trying to mirror the normal world just to avoid being jet lagged when you go home. But now that you're here, you can do whatever you want. Also of note, because you've been here long enough, when you look up, you see the sky, you see the water, whatever. Occasionally, you see things moving through that, and you don't know if they're clouds or like some kind of surreal marine life or what, but stuff moves in that water way up there.
Gotcha. Good night.
Oh, yeah, I guess Annis would probably get up around 8 or 9 a.m. Like,
Okay.
some noise would wake her up, and she wouldn't be able to get back to sleep. So she'd just do what she usually does when she's nervous, and just go start making breakfast.
Okay.
Oh, let me rotate myself back. No, I'm sleepwalking.
All right, you got your 4 hours in.
Yep. She eats hemlock. She gets to work frying up some eggs.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
You have access to food.
She knows a lot of people's preferred breakfast, so she'll just start making that. Brewing some coffee. Brewing some more coffee. Brewing a third pot of coffee.
Look.
Makes a nice little salad for your and Aiden. She starts making French toast.
Respect.
She'll just cook until people show up or they don't.
Yeah. They're conked out. Like, you're halfway through their sleep.
But, I mean, what about the people that were already here?
Yeah, for the people that are already there, let's see, we docked you about to 8:40. So yeah, wandering through.
I was like, yeah, Kwaku's an early riser. I feel
Yeah,
like he'll
he
be
gets
fine.
up pretty early. Like he'll be up, he'll be in there. Nora's around because she only needs 4 hours of sleep, air quote sleep.
Okay.
So you know.
Kwaku knew the Edelfelts.
Yes, he did.
Nora probably, yeah, because if Yudon knew the Edelfelt.
Yeah. Yeah. Nora definitely knew them by virtue of, like, Annis did stuff with them, and also, like, she has met with, Fidan, so that's pretty easy. Kwaku just knows them by virtue of they're a known mage family. He's done some work for them, just like everyone else over time.
Mm-hmm.
He was very curious about their antics with regards to the Grail War, since they've participated in one.
Yeah, so she would probably deliver the news. I'm trying to see, me personally, I'd started off with, guess what, I'm a known criminal now, but I don't know if Annis would do that. No, she'd probably tell them at some point about supposedly what happened to Lovisa. And how she's now a wanted criminal with at least policies. So that's fun.
Why did they think you did it?
I don't know. If I had to guess, I'd say at some point I pissed someone off enough that they're willing to pin the blame on me.
That's some effort.
I
Considering
haven't
you
been
probably
trying.
have an alibi.
Oh, I do. Yeah. But Policies was apparently on their way to storm the castle and arrest me, so that's why we came here at the middle of the night.
Well, I don't think they're coming here.
I didn't know where I am, but Hopefully by the end of this Grail War, I'll have been absolved of that, and also I'll find out who actually did it and beat them with my bare hands to death. She
That
just
could be
like
fun, I
surveys the
suppose.
pancakes, just with a smile, like I'm gonna do it and fucking kill them.
They're a bit much up there, aren't they?
That was an aura.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with
Do-
any luck.
Do you want me to go say something to your family? Give them a heads up about your criminal reputation?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. If you don't mind, we really were more concerned with, contacting Fidan and both of the granddaughters. So I didn't even think about my family. I guess word would probably get to them, but
I can make a run and let them know. Do you need anything from up there? Since it sounded like you left in a hurry, I could probably sneak in and grab it for you.
oh, for my shop, I was able to grab pretty much everything I need. We'd brought most of everything down here on the last trip, and it was just a few odds and ends.
Well, then I'll just spread the news then.
Can find out any leads onto who is actually doing this.
Happy to take a look. Not my area of expertise, but at the very least, I'll let your grandfather know that his shop may be compromised.
I told my uncle, and I'm assuming my uncle told pretty much everyone else, at least about don't go to the shop.
That would make sense. I'm sure he probably also took care of your little fire friend. Cut to
Okay.
Policy's knocking on the door. Policy's trying to break in. Policy's seeing a giant scary fire elemental. Policy's backing up, very awkwardly, stepping outside and waiting for bigger fish to deal with this.
Yeah, I can't imagine that he let them in.
I'm sure it's a mess that'll probably sort itself out, but considering policies and their history with phantasmals, I wouldn't really be in a hurry to head home just yet.
No, we were planning on being here tomorrow. Wait, today. We were going to come here today. Came a little early. Moved the timetable up. Suppose I should move up other timetables.
I guess it gets you time to prepare for what you've got going on, huh?
Yep.
Oh, I don't think they're awake yet, but your friends, Mr. Lupin and Catherine are here. They
Oh,
said that they had news for you and they'd let you know when you arrived later today, but I suppose you could go kick them out of bed now if you want. Or I could send Raps to do it. He likes to wake people up.
Was it news for me, or Aiden, or just the group in general?
I believe it was for whichever one of you used that envelope thing.
Oh, news for Aiden. I'll let them sleep. I'll let him sleep too. I should really still be asleep. I can't go back to sleep, so I'm cooking. There's just like massive stacks of food, more than probably people can eat.
I mean, I'm willing to benefit from your lack of sleep. Honestly, this is a nice change of pace from spending a few months with the homunculi. They're nice, but they became stranger the longer they were taking orders directly from their golem.
Oh no. Oh, well. Yeah, if I had to guess, I'd assume that they're probably already in Dream's End. Umbersfield, at least.
Yes, I was checking in with Echo, and she said that they pretty much moved out a bit ago. They left behind... Well, obviously they left the golem behind. He can't actually leave, it seems.
Good.
The castle would stop working without him. But I don't know what it does to work, but they insisted that was a thing when I offered to give him some upgrades for mobility. I wanted to build roller skates into his feet.
No, that's a sight I would pay to see. But
It
it's
seemed like a
probably
good
definitely
idea
not
on
good.
account of all of the stairs. But
Oh, I would just love to see that little twerp trip down some stairs. I know it won't hurt him, he's a golem. I would
Right.
just love to see it.
seemed like it would be very fun for me too. But regardless, it seems like he's going to stay there, but he sent Ambrosville and a retinue of other homunculi that they produced for the purpose. I would say perhaps a month ago.
Okay. That makes sense.
Based on what Echo told me, they've inevitably found the snowiest part of this damn place and built a castle.
Oh. Yeah, that also makes sense. Okay. Well, a month ago is around the same time that the Sherwood people started to migrate over there, right?
Yeah.
Or was that very recent?
Well, the migration started a bit ago, but moving in earnest once they'd actually coordinated. Because they had to, like, get the haunted part unhaunted first.
Oh, right.
So,
That's right.
so that took a little time, but once they got that sealed over, moving them over was pretty much running at the speed of how many of you can we squeeze through a tree at once? Because that's a higher level spell that they can't just freely cast.
That's fair.
But yeah, like once they got the ghosts out of the way, they started moving people over. They brought over the more carpentry ones first to get things fixed up, and then eventually they moved over like the rest of the families and the kids and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Except for some holdouts.
Except for some holdouts. Yep.
So that's around the time that everyone from Sherwood started moving over there. I would actually be surprised if everyone involved in this Grail War isn't here by now. I know we were probably the last ones.
Based on how quiet things have been, normally I have a backlog of requests from Clock Tower, but there were a number of requests a few months ago, and then it kind of dried up. I don't know if it's just because, in general, the world of mage finances is a bit disrupted now,
Or
or
that the harvest is not being able to operate due to some people's efforts. Penelope sneezes in her sleep.
yeah.
We weren't talking about you.
It's okay, honey. Let it out. You'll sleep better.
She's just so happy to be a married woman.
My heart.
Just crying. Okay, I'm back to sleep.
We just hear it off in the distance. Annis is like, gonna brew another pot of coffee. That might be what woke her up. A loud snores. Just like, I can't take it. I have to make breakfast.
Through the stone walls.
The doors are made of wood. They're clearly
But-
made of wood on the map.
Hold on, snore roll.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh, this is 20. She's sleeping like
A
just
baby.
A baby, just completely silent.
But yeah, so essentially Kwaku like provides that while he doesn't know who in Clock Tower is up to what, like with the mage economy disrupted by the harvester operations disappearing, and also the level of disruption that's come from a certain pop star riling up the young folk. It's kind of hard to get a read of what anyone's up to, but he's guessing that at least the Clock Tower people have probably also already come here. Maybe the only holdouts that he's aware of were, like, you and the Edelfelts, who obviously had not come yet.
Mm-hmm. That's quite troubling. We already don't know who from Clock Tower are the two mages that they're ascending, and now we don't know who has the Luvisa's command spells. Ugh.
Do you think they could use them?
Someone stole her hand, so
I guess
We'll
someone
see.
thinks they could use them.
Someone thinks they can use them. In any case, there's going to be someone new in that position. There have to be 7 masters, right?
That's my understanding, is that it won't work if there aren't 7. So,
Well, at least we know some of the people participating.
have you gone ahead with your summoning yet?
Not yet. That was on the docket for today. I might go ahead and get it out of the way. Procrastinating on it isn't going to do anyone any good. And I don't think the horse has done his either.
That was an ominous noise.
That was
that was
someone with a tiny
motorcycle.
penis and a large car.
Ah, popular choice.
Surprised the mic picked that up.
I mean, synergy bonus, you know? But, yeah, I was just, you said that, and then in the background it was like a, like, maybe he did summon. I don't know. Maybe he summoned a moped. I didn't just summon Herbie, the love bug.
Oh my
Fuck
God.
yeah.
No.
Don't think I won't.
Ask your
There's no way to
parents.
know- Other than who I'm summoning, there's no way to know who anyone else has. I mean, I suppose that's how it is for Grail Wars.
I believe the goal is to avoid people finding out your servant's weaknesses. So,
I feel like Annis, during any spare time she's had, has been reading just everything she can get her hands on about mythology from all over the globe. She probably, one of her trips was a stack of books that she has in her desk now that are all about mythology and shit. She is prepared.
yeah. Fair.
I'm about as prepared for this Grail War as I'm going to get. I suppose I should just go ahead and get it out of the way.
Do you want us to clear a space and give you some privacy for that on account of all the reasons?
So I was thinking of obviously still doing the summon here in the. I was thinking if I can go where I was going. Or this is like something I can get onto. There, like where I just drew that circle.
Yeah.
That's something I can get on top of or
Yeah.
swim out to. Probably there.
You could just walk over to it, like you got a little drawbridge thing going on.
That's fair.
Let me
I didn't know
move
if that
the
was some sort
map
of
that
like.
people can see.
I didn't know if that was some sort of like pillar that went all the way to the ceiling, or if that was like where
No.
the people dock the boats and then walk.
It's essentially a boat dock. Like you could bring in ships and dock them to that. Like you can see like a little rowboat example.
Yeah.
Essentially that is a giant it's a floating dock that goes up and down. You can use the little drawbridge thing to get to it. If you ever get a large enough ship, it's something that with some effort can be removed to make room for the larger ship, but for smaller ships it's just more practical. So
But yeah, that's the closest thing, unless there's an island in the lake that we just don't know about.
by now you know that there's some small ones. Like it's not like a full map worthy thing, but there's places you can go out to. Like it's not a completely clear lake.
Yeah, like Annis was definitely going to either try and go there or to go to some sort of island. Because, you know.
Yeah.
It'd probably be better for her to do it in here in the mansion. Less chance of her getting, like, spied on or spied or seen in general. But yeah, I might just go ahead and do it.
Okay. You gonna do it while everybody's asleep?
Sure.
Okay.
If you want to have Raps deliver some food to some people so that whenever they wake up, they'll have food. We
I
can
could do that.
We probably have some sort of, like, fantasy equivalent of hot plates. Like some stones enchanted to stay warm or something.
Right.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go do it.
All
I'll
right.
just do it while everyone is asleep.
Do it, you coward.
All right. I'm gonna open up the ritual and walk you through it. Hope you're
Cool.
ready to roll dice.
I am.
I don't know. This doesn't seem like a game where we roll dice.
What is this? Some sort of role-playing game with shiny math rocks?
There might be some dungeons and maybe also some dragons.
Perhaps some dragons.
Perchance. All right. Pulling up the ritual on my phone so that I don't have to balance all these screens at once. Yeah. Okay. So, you're going to go out to the island, or you're going to do it in here?
I'm gonna do it in here on the little thing.
Okay. I'm going to drag you to
Or the
that
big thing. Maybe the little thing? I don't know. Yeah, like right there.
All right. Cool. Gonna get you dramatic. As I learn how to use the new spinny thing. Cool.
She obviously has the staff.
Yep.
Still attuned.
What kind
Okay.
of a tune?
So, the way that this is going to work, just to give an overview of it, and credit where due, I am using the rules that were put together by the Nat 19 team, who do Fate Unlimited Blade Works Abridged.
Mm-hmm.
Or rather, Project Mouthwash does that, but the DM of that is also the DM of Nat 19, role-playing group. They've been doing this stuff. They ran through an 80-ish session game several years ago that showed me that Fate can be done in 5e, and that's one of the things that gave me the idea to do this. So, they released a book on how to do a Holy Grail War several years ago, and I bought it. And while I don't use everything from that book, for this part, I think they did that very well, and so that's where I'm getting these rules from. So we're going to go with those. And we will see what happens as we play through. So first things first, this is going to ultimately be a 4-roll process that, story-wise, is going to take like an hour. And for the purposes of anyone watching a recording later or wondering about it, the rules in this are not going to be things that could be influenced by class abilities. So there will be no rolling with inspiration. There will be no rolling with like guidance or bonds or any of that stuff. So if you're watching this and you're like, no, go get the bard, it'll make it better. No, that doesn't work here. These are just straight up honest rolls. So, first things first. So, for the first part of the summoning ritual, you have to make your summoning circle. Mm-hmm. And with your summoning circle, you are going to be gathering your catalyst. So, to begin with, I'm going to ask you to prepare your summoning circle.
Mm-hmm.
And to do that, you are going to be making an intelligence check.
Oh boy.
It's just intelligence, no arcana or anything else.
Okay. The bonuses, well, if I have them, would still apply.
The bonuses, as you have them, apply. And we will see what do.
It's the dog on our end, if you can hear that.
Ooh, fun.
All right, an intelligence roll.
Yep.
Great start.
Okay, so
I'm nervous. She breaks several things of chalk and is like,
you've broken several pieces of chalk as you draw this. You realize that circles are hard. And eventually, over some trial and error, you draw your circle, and then you stand back and look at it, and you see it's an oval. You get frustrated, you scuff it up with your shoes, you draw it again. You keep going until it feels circle enough. So, having put that together, you're now going to place your catalyst, which in this case is a staff, in the center of your summoning circle, and you're going to begin performing the ritual per what you know, because you've got the actual summoning rules from the source summoning rules from the Einsburns way back that you got out of the vault in like session 8 or 10 or 12 or whatever, forever ago. So for this
before
one,
before she lets go of the staff, she would just quickly be like, Cassie, we're friends. You'll help me out, right? You'll help me with this? You want to see a master again, right?
I don't know, but you're fun, so sure.
Okay.
And you place it there, and you begin this. So now for this one, you are going to be making a wisdom check.
Oh, good. I do have a bonus to wisdom.
Yeah. Good.
Now we're in business.
Now you're in business. That's a good one. Those are important. So, while the circle is a little rough, you know this part. You've been reading over these scrolls, this stuff to do for so long that you don't even have to reference them anymore. Like, you've had these things for half a year. You've read it. You know it. You set everything up just right. You got lights in the appropriate places. Now, what you're going to do, having set it up, having prepared everything, having gotten the appropriate materials together, you're going to be performing the ritual proper. And this ritual is going to involve, for you, making contact with the Throne of Heroes, which means that you are going to be using this circle to reach across the world, approach the root, find the Throne of Heroes, and try to connect to the hero that you're seeking. So, for that, you're going to make another check using your spellcasting ability, which for you will be your wisdom, but you can include your proficiency bonus this time.
Okay, so just roll straight wisdom again?
Roll wisdom again, and then we will add your proficiency bonus, which at this point is 4, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. Wisdom.
Yep. Okay. So you've rolled your wisdom. So closing your eyes as you do this, you envision yourself floating through an ocean of some sort, but as you're passing through it, bubbles float by, light is starting to abstract out around you, and then you find yourself in a room. It's much more comfortable to you. It's way less wet, way less salty, but this room looks like a library to you. Books all along the walls. Now, it's an impossibly tall library. And looking down, it's impossibly deep. You are floating in this library. It's nothing but pillars of books in every direction. No floor, no ceiling, but gravity does not seem to mind you. So, here, you see a figure. And this figure is of a woman. She has what appear to be wings. They look like owl wings, resting on her shoulders. And she looks chipper. And she looks like this.
Hey.
And she sees you. And when you see her, she's holding a book. And she's thumbing through it and looking up at you. And she's thumbing through it some more and looking up at you. And then when you're still there, She rolls her eyes and she closes the book, and then she turns to you and she says, "Can I help you?"
I hope so. I need your help to save the world.
Interesting. And she just starts walking around you in a giant circle in the air.
It's your turn.
And as she does
And
so,
stay
she
still
calls
and
her-
let her walk.
yeah,
What
she
else?
calls over and she says to you, "And how might I help you with that?"
Well, there's a Grail War happening. The stakes are kind of huge right now, and if not me, I just need to make sure that someone with good intentions for the world is the winner of this Grail War.
And what kind of world are we talking about here? Is it still overrun with pigs calling themselves men?
Yes, unfortunately, things are bad for everyone that's not humans, and we're trying to fix that, but it'll take time. But right now, we're kind of in a crisis mode. All the mana is just going somewhere, and this Grail War can hopefully fix that. And maybe fix some other
Interesting.
things.
So, based on this, and she holds up a book, it says that participants in such a Grail War get a wish. If they win. What would you wish for?
Well, I've got a couple of different goals, and I think you might be able to help me achieve the first one without needing the Grail at all. I've got a friend who's isn't who he needs to be, and I think you might be able to help me fix his body so that he's who he needs to be.
I understand you've got a guy, you want him to be a pig. I could do this. I have a lot of experience. My CV is incredible.
Not quite. I don't need him to be a pig, necessarily. I don't necessarily need him to be a pig. I will explain that a little bit later. If somehow we can't fix him before the end of the Grail War and I get a wish, I will probably use it to help him. But if we can fix him first, my wish will be it'll be something to help phantasmals not have such a hard time in this modern world. I don't know quite yet. It has to be something that the Grail can actually do. Otherwise, we'll just end up in the same situation we're already in, where there's mana going somewhere that it shouldn't be, because there's a wish that's too big has been made.
I see. So, I have to ask, has this man broken your heart?
Not relevant.
No, it's relevant. Trust me. I've had my heart broken before.
He did, but it wasn't exactly his fault. It was, but there were circumstances.
There always are.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes they decide that they're just gonna go out for a while. Get lost for a decade. These things happen.
Yeah, they do.
Sounds like things haven't changed much, but this is a world you want to save?
Yes, men will be men, but this is the world I'm living in, and there's not really another one to live in for me, so I have to do my best to make it a world I can live in.
Okay, that's fair. And my understanding is that if I help you win this thing, I also get a wish?
Yes. That's how it works. The heroic spirit and the master both get a wish if they win the Grail War.
Fair enough. That is exciting. And you're prepared to do whatever it takes to win this war?
I am. Or to help someone else, if not me. Just anyone other than people with bad intentions for the world. And there are some of those in this war for sure.
Well, in my experience, good intentions can still end very badly. So, you have my interest. I mean, I've read this book before, and she takes the book she's holding and just throws it over her shoulder. And it
Can I see
slots
what-
right back into the shelf where it presumably came from.
Can I see if there was anything on the cover or the spine or anything like that?
Give me a perception check, and we'll see what you see.
It was almost a 20.
It's a little hard to tell from the angle that she threw it at, but based on the other books around it on the shelf, you can see writing. It appears to be Greek. You're not fluent in that, but the patterns look familiar. You get the impression just off of the amount of preparation that you've done that each of the books on the shelf probably corresponds to a Greek hero or legend or something, and that this might be a collection of memories or stories that she's been reading through. You can't tell from the quick blur like whose book it was she was reading, but she says she's seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, you now get to convince her to make a contract with you, which will be a charisma roll, but you get to roll that with advantage.
Oh, good. Let me... Okay. Let me turn on advantage. Okay, there we go.
Okay. So, she gives you a look over again and nods to herself, and then she asks you, "How exactly did you find me out of all the books on this shelf? What did you use to call me?"
What did I use? Your staff, Cassie.
Oh, you've been talking to Cassie. How is she?
She's doing well. I think she's happy to finally have someone to talk to after being hidden away for so long.
Yeah, that sounds like her. She's a bit chatty, isn't she?
A bit.
Have you used her for anything yet?
Not yet, no. Haven't had a lot of opportunities. I've been mostly just getting ready for this whole Grail War situation.
Right. Well, if you treat her nicely and you keep her entertained, she'll do good by you. But I'm curious to see this brand new world. 1 second, I just want to take a... Do you mind if I take a look in your head? Just to see what's going on?
Sure.
She floats over to you, and with a big smile, she leans forward and her eyes look directly into your eyes. And then she says, "Huh, you hit him with another guy. This'll be fun."
Oh, yes, I sure did.
Well, in that case, as long as you've got the mana to keep it going, I am very interested in this business arrangement. Shall we shake on it? And she reaches out with her right hand.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Annis shakes her hand.
All right, when she shakes your hand, the command seals on the back of your hand glow, and you get a sense that you're now connected to her. Well, see you in a moment. And then the world around you, all of the books, all of the light, everything starts to fade away until you're back in an open, empty space. She winks at you, and then you blink, and you're right back where you were before, in the middle of the base.
So I didn't have to, like... There was no blood sacrifice. I didn't have to do the chant.
The chant and the blood and whatnot were what you were doing in the earlier steps. Like, all of those things still happened. I just wasn't going to make you, like, take health damage or anything for the purposes of this because you prepared for the ritual. So, it's not like you're a protagonist who stumbled onto some stuff and bled all over the place and it just worked out. Like, you actually had a plan, so you didn't have to do all that. And...
None of this, like, your sword becomes my destiny, blah de blah. I am the bone of my sword.
Yeah. There she is.
Hooray!
Here's in front of you.
Hey.
Got that
That's
servant
good
frame.
artwork. Is that from Samurai Remnant by any chance?
It is.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah. I like the Samurai Remnant art for her. It's a little less... I think the coloring on it is just a little more engaging. The coloring in the Grand Order pictures is a little strong for me. I think that she, in general, matches this a little better. Eventually, we may get, like, actual art put together for these characters, and she'll probably look less like traditional Type Moon. But for right now, that works for getting the point across. So... yeah, there she is, and she's got that whole summoning background and everything. 'Cause that's what I'm putting on servants, so that you can tell who servants are.
Oh, cool.
So, that'll be neat, and now that you have a contract, let's give you a thing.
I did it.
And...
Oh.
It went off just as you're like, I did it.
I might go run it.
Do you want me to get that? Yeah. Okay.
So exciting. Alright, so you now have a brand new skill. Which is going to be tied to your wisdom, because that is your casting stat. And you are proficient with it. Enjoy.
As if my character sheet wasn't already big enough.
Hey, it's on your skill list. That shouldn't be too big. This is an actual skill similar to athletics or arcana. And you will roll that whenever you encounter potential masters or servants. And that is the Holy Grail pushing you together because it wants you guys to actually find each other and not spend 6 months dicking around in Dream's End. So,
yay!
That is the Grail pushing you to do stuff.
It's almost like the opposite of the modern technology role. I'm like,
yeah,
I have an actual proficiency.
In a lot of ways, yeah. Okay,
Sweet.
So I'm going to tell you mechanically what do with your rolls. So the way that this works is, like, I've got a base for your servant that I've put together using the rules and that. But as part of the ritual, it's, you know, there were 4 rolls. There are successes, there are failures. And you can either elect to have successes and failures cancel each other out, or you can treat them separately. And for every success that you have, your servant gets a benefit. For every failure you have, they get a drawback. And those will be rolled on a table so that you can, like, experience a little more variety versus, like, all servants being equally powered. If you let them count each other out, then things are pretty standard. If you like to be more swinging in both directions, we can count them all separately. In terms of your success and failure count, you've got 2 of each.
Okay.
So that is up to you. They can
So
go completely neutral, or you can have 2 perks and 2 drawbacks. Or one of each, I guess.
So by perks and drawbacks, do you mean like some stats are higher and some are lower? Or
I will read to you some examples. I'm not going to read the whole chart, but I'll read you some examples. So, for instance, success thing. One of them is your servant's hit points are calculated as if they'd rolled half of their hit dice with maximum results. So you get a boost to HP. By default, it takes the average, so this would be a burst of HP. Alternatively, you might get the servant getting a boost to one of their stats, which can be nice. They might get some skills. They might get to add their proficiency bonus to additional saves on top of the normal one. So there's a lot of good stuff. And then the drawbacks kind of go in the other way. Like maybe it's you get less HP. It treats them as if you'd rolled ones on half of your hit dice. Or, well, no, not quite that bad. It treats as if the Constitution modifier did not count. Or you might lose one of your proficiencies. Or you might, have a stat go down a rank. So it's pretty much parallel. I don't think that you should really feel like you have to do that, but you have the option. It is up to you if you want to be a little more variety there.
So basically the question is, am I treating it as a wash, or am I taking 2 successes and 2 failures?
Or 1 success and 1 failure, because you could have one pair of them count each other out. It's up to you.
No, I might do that then. Have one of them cancel, and then the other one be a perk and a drawback. That seems fair.
Okay, so if that sounds fun for you, I will let you roll, and I will tell you what benefits / drawbacks you get. So, first up,
I didn't already roll, or
well, it comes from a chart, which
okay,
which success or failure drawback you get. So I'm gonna have you roll on those, and I'll tell you, and then we'll build your ultimate character sheet from that. So do you want to roll the success or the failure first?
Let me roll the failure first.
Okay, then give me a D8.
Oh, a D8. I had already picked up a D8.
Okay, so your failure is they will lose proficiency in a random skill check. Honestly, that's probably one of the better ones to miss out on. All right.
That's not bad.
Okay, and now you can roll a D8, and we'll see what good thing you get.
Oh, another 5.
Another 5. Let's see.
You'll gain proficiency. No.
Your servant adds half their proficiency bonus to any saving throws they make that don't already benefit from their proficiency. So your saving throws got better.
That's good.
That's probably a good trade-off, honestly. Losing a skill proficiency and getting a benefit to your saves. I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Considering...
When I was building the base, I didn't think about where the servants might sleep.
I mean,
they don't really need to sleep.
Generally speaking, servants don't need to sleep. And they spend most of their downtime not manifest because it's just less mana intensive. So
fair.
they don't really need a room unless you just want to give them one. Some of them, Gilgamesh, are arrogant and want space anyway, but they don't really need it. But yeah, you got your girl.
Yay!
You did it.
After 112 episodes.
Got there.
I got there.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to telling you off screen how the Noble Phantasm works. I think you're going to enjoy it. But I don't want to spoil what that is on screen.
I was wondering if you were going to give her the same one from Grand Order or do something different.
We're doing stuff a little different.
Yeah.
I feel like Grand Order has to grossly oversimplify nearly every Noble Phantasm into either buffs or damage. And I think that's not fun. Also, most servants have 2 to 3 Noble Phantasms, regardless of what Grand Order code's in. So you've got a few options there. Also, explaining specifically yours, the caster class has Magecraft. So in addition to her servant abilities, she does get spell slots. she does get spells. And big shocker, she's really good at it. So I'll be
Crazy.
connecting with you later with the character sheet to go over all the stuff that she can do.
Good.
The main thing that you'll want to remember is that when she runs out of mana, she's going to be taking it from you. So, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And also, she manifests with a copy of the staff. That is just hers. It is not sentient. It does not have some of the perks because she can't just manifest with a second spirit like that. Grand Order is dumb. And, so she does have a staff, but it's not the real one. You still have the real one. So should be fun.
Well, Cersei, thank you for answering my summons. Welcome to my base of operations.
I like what you did with the place. I can tell that this previously had spiders in it, and now there are way less spiders.
Oh, hopefully 100% less spiders.
There's one or two. Do you want them to not be spiders? I could fix that.
I think we can leave them as spiders. They're probably fine.
Fine,
for the most
Peter.
part.
From now on, I think I'll be referring to you as Casta, just to
Probably
be safe.
safer. Probably safer. And I will refer to you as... Do you want to go by... Wait, hold on. I read about this in the book. 1 second. And she moves back. And she floats above you. And she stretches her hand down. And then she says, "Are you my master?"
Oh, yes?
Oh, good. Okay, cool. Sorry, I read about it. It's apparently a common thing. I don't know why they do that either, but whatever works. All right. So, I'm gonna go meet your friends, I guess. Unless you want me to be hidden. I'm pretty flexible.
Well, I think most of them are still asleep, but we can meet them eventually.
Wait. Is that... I smell breakfast.
Well, I was going to ask if you need to eat. Oh, okay.
As she's running down the hallway, she turns invisible.
Okay.
So she disappears, but she runs off, and when you get to the kitchen, you can hear her, like, her voice in your head, not out loud. The things you miss. I don't actually need to eat the food. I just miss the smell.
You can eat the food if you want to eat the food.
I might. Let's see what you got.
And I imagine Kwaku and Nora are just staring at us.
I mean, it's been an hour. They're not in there anymore.
Oh,
You've been
okay,
summoning for a while. They're back to doing other stuff.
Oh, and this is my familiar Hemlock.
Hemlock floats over at her, or at least where you suspect she is, because she's invisible. She's like, "Where are my manners? Hold on." And she uncloaks. "Hello, little psychopomp." And Hemlock is like looking at her in his little mask, and he's looking back at you, and you get a psychic impression in your head that something is wrong. And then she says, like, yes, I'm dead. Don't worry, though. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, I know it's your job. I understand that. But I'm here on leave. I'll be going back soon. Don't worry about it. Oh, you're just like your mother. Anyway.
What? Hold on, what?
Oh, just psychopomps. They're all the same. They're all like, move on, go do other stuff. It's like, I've already moved on. I moved on a long time ago. I'm not really me. I'm a copy. It's fine. You can never explain to them that this is my one and only go. So, Look, you'll love me. We'll get along. I'll get you some good food. I know you love that. I could see that from her memories. It'll be fine. And then Hemlock sort of nods and goes back to eating.
Poor Hemlock. He can't do his job with Cersei. He can't do his job with Freddy.
It's been a little rough on him. Like, helping things move on is hard.
Well, we're going to fix one of those.
Tell you what, buddy, when we run into other servants, I will get rid of them for you, and then you can watch them pass on. Deal? Bird reaches out a little paw. They shake. Good, good, good.
While we wait on everyone
case-
else to wake up, I suppose I can give you a tour of the place if you need one. You probably saw in my memories.
I peeked around a little bit. Now, my real question for you is, do you want me to introduce myself to people, or do you want me to stay kind of on the down low?
Well, I mean, they all knew I was going to be summoning someone. They're going to find out eventually. So, I suppose as long as you don't reveal your identity, should be fine.
That's fair.
That way, in case someone reads their mind or they get captured, they'll know I have a servant. They just won't know who.
Of course.
Hopefully, that just won't happen.
Oh, we can. I'm sure we can do something to keep this interesting.
And I do have the centaur friend who is also a master who is going to be summoning someone.
Really?
But
Are you not sharing who?
I don't know. I don't know who he's planning on summoning. I probably won't know until it becomes necessary. We have a pact that we're going to aid each other, and if we're the last two standing, we'll figure it out then.
Fair enough. Alliances help. Okay, then. In that case, perhaps what I should do is make this a little bit less on the nose as she points at her entire appearance. Giving away too many clues, you think?
Possibly.
Possibly. Let's see what I can do about this. The wings are a bit much, huh?
Well, there are at least two people here that are going to find them extremely fascinating.
Oh, that would make sense. That would make sense. I don't know. Perhaps I'm just too on point. I know. I will change, and we will convince people I'm someone else. That seems like a good idea.
We can give it a shot.
Okay. 1 second. I will get changed. And she waves her hands. And then she changes her appearance right in front of you. And I will show you her new appearance. I'm not going to update the token because that'll just get confusing. But gonna get you a new picture for her. Doot. Doot, doot, doot.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't outright said who I'm summoning, but it should have been fairly obvious from the staves and
Right.
everything. Penelope probably at least knows.
Yeah, I didn't make sure to was like, do not tell me. I don't want this to be a weakness for you.
How's this?
Oh my god!
I just performed the ceremony. How could you do this?
Oh wow!
Penelope's gonna be so mad.
Penelope can't be mad.
I know.
He doesn't know.
Not
I like
yet.
it. I like it. We could. Oh, the ears. We can convince them maybe that you're just one of my relatives or something.
Yeah. What plant isn't taken yet?
What plant isn't taken yet?
I mean, she's not wrong.
Oh no, I haven't. I don't have a list in my head of like
Oh man, oh man.
Think what would Mom have named an older sister? Hang on, I can do this. As I load Google Chrome. Okay, that's not gonna work. Crap, I'm trying to remember other names I had in mind for Anna.
Belladonna?
Belladonna. Thank you, disembodied voice of Penelope.
I don't know who that was.
We can either go with Bella or Donna. Short.
There you go.
Both of those sound weird.
Let's go with
Were
Bella.
there any names from the garden game that we didn't?
Inevitably.
We did.
Just go
Unless
with
we
Belle.
want-
Let's just call me Belle. That'll work.
Oh, unless you want to be Market Foxby.
Oh!
There we go. I like how it says calls instead of casual because I can't type.
Goosel. Woo.
There you go. Well, this is her undercover.
Beautiful.
Man, it's a good thing I'm not currently in this girl war. And I mean me, like the player me. I'll be losing my shit.
Look, she has to pull from somebody.
Right, true. Is this someone you knew in real life, or?
Oh, my niece.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she was exciting. She was very
Way to put it.
passionate.
Also a good way to put it.
A little high strung at times. She didn't really let things go, you know?
You recovered her staff too, I think.
Really? How's that one doing?
I don't know. It wasn't in my possession. Does her staff talk too?
Shouldn't.
Oh.
But there's no telling. I mean, she wouldn't tell me if it did. She really didn't like to open up about these things. But
Yeah.
whatever the case, you have to watch out for her. I don't imagine you'll run into her in this go-round. If you have her staff, I don't know how else she'd show up. But, you know. She means well. Her heart's in the right place.
Anything is possible. I've learned that lesson many times recently.
Somewhere in the year 2024, you hear a voice going, "Justice for Medea!" Okay, I'm shutting.
All right, so she's gonna casually wander around and check the place out in her disguise. And you can successfully give her a tour as you see fit.
Yay. We don't have to play that out, though.
No, but it allows us to advance the clock a little bit so that others can start waking up.
Yeah, I'll definitely show her the potion workshop and all the plans. For sure.
Okay.
Bribe Hemlock with extra food. Not that he needs permission to eat any of the food or anything like that.
Fair enough. So, given all that, that was a summon. And time is advanced. The others are now allowed to wake up with the benefits of a full rest.
Thank you.
Let's give you some rests.
Yeah, like, she would introduce Vel to, like, Kwaku and who else was up? Nora. Anyone else that is up, basically, wondering.
Right. Rest, everybody. Bam. So yeah, everyone waking up. There's a new person here.
She has purple hair and spiky ears.
Yo.
What? Penelope is refusing to get out of bed.
As
Oh my
is her
God.
right. She's a newlywed. Should be her honeymoon.
My honeymoon is the Grail War. Don't mind me.
Penelope is refusing to get up because she does not want to run into Annis or Aiden after what.
She does not want to run into Annis or Aiden after what?
After last night.
Ah,
She just doesn't want to talk about it.
fair enough.
Aiden wakes up to the smell of food.
Aiden does smell food.
Aiden starts talking to himself for a bit, but not like anyone could hear it, and he starts casually walking outside. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to deal with, and I don't know how Annis is doing right now, but I'm gonna check in on her. Oh, it smells so good. You want some? I don't know what the I'm like following the. I just walk in.
I'll say,
See.
hold on 2 seconds, because Artie's coming back.
I'm back.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, Artie can run for a second.
I like to think that Cersei just watched our campaign at like 1,000 times speed.
let me
She
repeat.
stared into Annis's eyes. Anyway, what's going on?
So I was talking and I know you weren't there.
Sorry.
You're good, you're good. So yeah, like Aiden kind of wakes up, starts chattering to himself, and like smells the food, starts coming outside, and it's like this is a lot. I'm gonna talk to Annis. It smells really good. Like, do you want some? Oh my gosh. And like walks in to see extra people with Annis.
I think Annis, there's probably enough food, so Annis is sitting down to actually eat now that she's done the summoning. She's starving.
Fair. Yeah, you notice that you're much hungrier than you used to be.
Oh no, she's eating for two.
You are eating
But
for
not
two,
like that.
but not like that.
But me like that. I'm just. I need 4. Just.
Oh, Aiden, good morning. I prepared some salads and fruit.
It looks so good. And just starts shoving his face full. And he's eating a lot. He's like, oh, you want one? And just like passes like an apple back behind him to the nothingness. And it just keeps eating and eating until like either it's out of his hand or not.
I'm going to roll some kind of check. Wait, can I use the new skill? Can I use clairvoyant?
You can. Yeah, something else is in this room. It would appear to be the presence of someone else tied to the Holy Grail Wars in the room.
So, Aiden,
Mm-hmm.
this is my new friend Belle.
Aiden can also make a roll.
Woo.
Let
Where
me
would I
add
do
the thing for you, because
Yeah.
I need to do that.
We'll be on the skills.
Okay, skills.
It's under my athletics. I don't think he's added it yet.
It's
Yeah.
popping in now. I have to give it the right ability score.
Oh yeah, because it'd just be alphabetical.
Yeah, it's there now. Hold on, let me give you your proficiency. There you go. Enjoy.
Hey yo. Ugh. Wow.
Hey, you got it out of the way, right?
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, you don't pick up on anything, but Annis definitely picks up on the presence of others connected to the Holy Grail War in the room.
Yeah, it's just like, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. Oh, goodness gracious. Annis,
Yeah.
kind of like, it's been an event. Yesterday was insane.
Yesterday was insane.
Yeah. I haven't really gotten to catch up with you. Oh, and actually, maybe I should. I'll hold till later. We need to talk about what
So when we all went to bed, when you were doing the ceremony, didn't sense this presence, right?
Did you sense its presence?
Like I didn't. I'm assuming it's a servant, but I didn't sense that he had already summoned it or anything
You
like
did not
that.
sense anything. You did not have a sense for this until now.
But he wasn't acting weird, talking to people that weren't there, feeding the
What,
air, or
Aiden?
anything like that. Okay.
That is up to Aiden.
I mean, he hasn't really been around y'all for a while.
Not until the party.
Mm-hmm. He's been out looking for materials. Like, he's been here, like, a lot during majority of the 5 months. Yeah. It's just like... What do we want to do
About
the situation from yesterday?
well, I talked to Nora this morning. She's going to get word to my family that I'm not a, murderer, and try and see if there's anything she can glean about the situation. But now all we can do is just wait to see who pops up with Lovisa's command spells.
Well, I better... Do you think... They've got her hand, right? Oh, sorry, Belle. It's probably a really graphic conversation. Do you want to be around for this?
I don't mind.
Okay. Let's see. Are you from Sherwood?
Yes, she's from Sherwood.
Huh.
Can't you tell by the ears? Points at her own ears.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's... You're not a druid, at least. I would say I've met all the druids. I met all the druids.
You've met all the druids.
In Sherwood. They were in a meeting. It was a very...
Did you meet all the animals that were at the meeting?
You know, that's fair. I didn't think about that. You could have been one of the chickens.
Belle's a friend of my aunt. She came over as soon as she heard that I was involved in a Grail War, and she wants to help.
Well, she's also related to you. Then maybe she should know. I mean, she knows about, Granny, right?
She knows.
Luvia, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then, yeah, maybe you should be here for this conversation.
Well, we know they have a hand. We don't know if that will let them participate in the Grail War, but the command seals are going to go to someone, somewhere, because there have to be 7 masters.
Well, this is really grim to think about, but if the hand's been severed from her and it's not a part of her body, I might be able to locate it. That might lead us to who has it. If they're in here or not.
Well, we don't really know how big Dream's End is.
I don't. I've been trying to scope it out as best I can.
Yeah. I mean, all those times we were here when I flew out as an eagle and sent Hemlock out and Goldtilda. Yeah, it's big. We may not even discover the whole thing while we're here for this war. But we have 5 people to fight, one of which we have to go after very quickly. And soon.
Yep. And, Ida just kind of looks over at Belle and is like, I will keep her safe to the best of my ability, as I have promised Alder.
Glad to hear it. She might even keep you safe in turn.
Right. Sherwood will ride or die.
Exactly.
Hopefully just ride. No die.
Yes. I do a lot of writing. Or I guess
All
technically...
riding, no die.
Yes. Yes. Uh, I'll get with you in a little bit.
We should let everyone wake up. Oh, there is news. Lupin and Catherine are here, and they have news for you, related to a letter.
Okay. Well, that. Yup. Okay. I'll be back. That's really important.
Bye. Okay.
Oh, he comes back wrong way, and he just like gallops through to the other side.
It's
Oh,
probably
hi,
good
Freddy.
that this place is a giant circle.
I assume Freddy was hanging from the raft.
Yeah. It's just like, hi, Freddy. Bye, Freddy. And knocks at the door.
All right, let me move the camera over. Whee. This is a new toy for me to play with. Freddy token just glaring at me in weird angle. This is fun. I don't know if it's worth the instability, but it's fun. Yeah, they are awake.
And knock at the door and wait for them to let me in.
Yeah, 1 second. Hold on. And okay. And then door pops open and
Is it a
you
mansion
see-
again?
On the inside of that, no, not this time.
Okay.
No. They're saving their spells on account of what they might have to do.
Much appreciated.
Yeah. That's a big one. That's a heavy duty one.
It is.
That is a pretty cool view, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Right, so here we are. Welcome back again. How is the party?
It ended very shortly.
Is that a
I don't-
halfway joke?
Oh. No.
So
When is
insensitive.
the wedding? Technically.
Oh, is it supposed? Okay, so like, are they asking about like, did they see the ceremony happen out there? Or are they talking about Penelope's birthday?
I mean, I assumed you gathered everyone for the ceremony. So they were just asking about, like, because the ceremony happened at like 4 in the morning. All of these people were kind of brought out here half asleep and then they went back to sleep. So they didn't
I
really
didn't
get
realize
caught
they
up on
were.
everything else.
Oh, I thought the wedding was just,
just.
like, us. Because
Yeah.
Oh, if it was just you, then no, they're not aware of it at all. They've been in here.
Yeah, no, I thought it was just us too. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, she asked how the day was. He gonna be like, so Penelope's engaged.
Really?
Uh-huh. Her and Johnny are official. I heard that you say she said yes. And that's how you know.
That is a big part of it, yes.
Consent.
Oh, we're gonna have to get pictures of her ring, and we're gonna have to post it to the internet. Then we're gonna have to feel like we probably shouldn't have done that too quickly. But you know, we'll go through the whole ritual.
Well, she does want to do. She does want to do an actual like proper ceremony and get together. Hopefully after all of this is. But with how dire things are looking, just kind of made sure everything was set beforehand, just to make it official.
Yeah,
And he just whispers to like Catherine, "I got to officiate it, but it wasn't my best, so I gotta fix this for them."
Oh, okay. Yeah, they probably also need some kind of legal documentation when they get back too, because I have a feeling that you are not actually on the up and up with your paperwork. But we can help you with that. We can help you with that.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think I have those records. I don't think records are a thing for me.
No, you are very off the grid on account
Yeah.
of being a mostly horseman. Or you mostly
Yeah.
man horse. How do you... Are you 50-50? I really got to measure that sometime.
It's about 50-50. I got like stomach here, stomach there, extra lungs.
I mean, you know.
You know.
You are fascinating. Anyway.
The important stuff that we're here for. My sister.
Yes, we've been looking into that. And Lupin's just sort of letting her go. You get the impression that he's trying to, like, let her take over the job proper.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been looking in, and think we've got a lead on where this might be happening. So we've been going out and about, exploring a little bit. Like, obviously this place is huge, and frustratingly, it is not at all automobile compatible. I know. It's exhausting. I mean, I guess for you it doesn't matter as much. For those of us with 2 legs, it's a real pain in the ass. But checking around a bit, there's a neat little village, I guess, southwest, if we're going to arbitrarily assign directions in a world with no working compasses, of here. It's cute. There's a bunch of neat animal people there. You might like them. But according to them, they've been encountering a number of rather strange people lately who occasionally come in to, do bartering and whatnot. And those people include a guy with a really strange arm, which matches the descriptions that we have for the weirdos who hang out with the butcher based on that guy on the boat. So according to them, the people that show up for that occasionally have been setting themselves up in the forest to the south of here. So my guess would be that their base of operations is somewhere in there. We're going to try to get it scouted out good and proper, and once we find their base of operations, presumably you can go and get his attention, have your duel, whatever, and we'll sneak in and get the girl out.
Sounds like a solid plan. Is there anything I need to provide you to make your job easier?
Keep him as busy as you can, on account of, if my understanding of this is correct, he's got some kind of super monster working for him, and that would kill us very easily, so best if we don't have to deal with that.
All right, I can do that. In return, if I possibly say the dawn shines upon you, you might want to make, like, I don't know, very far away. I'm hoping this fight I can guide him far enough away, but don't come towards me if you hear me say that at all. If you're in hearing distance of
Honestly, if while we are doing our job, we get any impression that you are nearby, we are going to assume they are nearby, and we are going to get the fuck out. Because we cannot do our job if we are dead.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That said, my understanding is that once you fought him, all bets are off, right? Like, he can do whatever.
That's why I want to get all of them as much as possible in one section, far away.
I mean, I respect that, because, like, understandably, we will do our best to get her out. She is the prize, after all. She is the thing that, old, what are you over there? Yeah, just old man over there, old Lupin, agreed to do, because he decided that, it'd be fun to give people a freebie and just assume that you'd want to go get, like, a Rembrandt or something. But nope. So for this one, we will do what we can. Like, I personally want to see the best for your sister. Do what we can, but this is not my element. A lot of my stuff doesn't work very well here. So
I know.
Bit of a handicap.
Appreciate it.
But we'll get through it. This is a fascinating place anyway, and once we take care of that, then maybe we'll treat ourselves to whatever old treasures we can find around here. I mean, my understanding is that this place has probably got some lost stuff. I mean, on our way down, we found some old books that were kind of neat in that library. We had to be quiet about it. We were warned about that, but, we found some stuff, but we got away. It's fine. But there's probably some good stuff to find in here, Things that nobody's seen before.
Absolutely. I was going to say, that's better than an IOU that I could give you. I mean, honestly, just grab what you need.
Oh, we're going to do what we can, but yeah, be as much yourself as possible. Get the attention. Keep them on you. If you win, wonderful. At the very least, we'll get to her. If you reach the point where you don't think you can win, we understand. Just try to take up as much time as you can. The more time we get, the more likely we get out. And once we have her and we get out, we will bring her back here.
Okay. Did they mention at all what kind of super monster, like what it looked like, if they saw any glimpse of it?
According to... She's going to roll to see how well she can describe this to you. Okay, so my understanding, based on the description, is that his super monster is a young woman with flaming red hair. And that she's incredibly strong and incredibly angry.
The only thing I can look. Hey, Iden's just like, well, I'm going to assume it's his servant. Yeah. I'm going to assume it's his servant because it's the closest thing I can think of to quote unquote super monster to those unknown. So great. I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Based on what they've said, you'll know if they're anywhere nearby because they're quite loud when they're excited. So if we hear that noise, we're also going to run away.
That's fair. Okay. I appreciate your updates. I'll get the battle plan ready. I'll make sure to draw them away. We'll make your jobs easier.
Great. Then we'll have to sync that up.
Yes, I may need to get with you later. I need your knowledge, your expertise. I'll reconvene with you at some point, but before today is over.
Oh yeah, take your time. I mean, we're not going there without you, so
yeah,
you can choose the when to go time is, big guy.
Yeah, thank you. Let me go let Annis know real quick.
As you're leaving, she turns over to Lupin and she goes, "So how'd I do?" And he's like, "I mean, I think you did fine, except maybe next time, if he wants to give you more, just let him. Like, no, he's our friend. We're not going to take advantage of him. He's a big dumb horse friend, but he's still our friend." He's like, "I don't think he's actually that dumb. I think he just is really earnest about wanting to get her back, and you need to understand the value of what you're bringing to the equation. What I'm bringing is fulfilling your IOU," and then you hear the door close.
Okay, so Aiden goes back. Is Penelope waking up at this point at all?
We're gonna have to get her up.
Okay.
She's not gonna come out on her own.
No, like Penelope is just not getting out of bed. She's not getting out of bed until she has to get out of bed.
What time is it?
She's
it is about 1 o'clock now.
Like, she's awake.
She's awake, she's just not up.
Yeah, Aiden swings back in and is like, "So, I've got the update. Do we want to get Penelope in here or go to her, or do we just want to talk it out now? She seems tired."
We can go and see if she wants to join us for a discussion. I've got all this coffee here for her, so
I'm just gonna Aiden takes more food while you say that.
I think I'll go and try and entice her out with pancakes and scones and coffee, and she just like grabs that stuff and starts heading for Penelope.
Aiden's like, mouthful. "Should I wait here?"
Yeah, she's going to probably want to eat here.
Well, I mean, I was asking if I should, but I guess it's just you and me, Belle.
So tell me, how long have you been a centaur?
My whole life?
Have you ever considered alternatives?
No. I mean, I got to be a human once. I didn't
Did you like it?
like it too much.
No. Were you a human man?
Well, so Anna's like, she made a polymorph, and somehow it gave me the 2 legs, and I fell on my face.
Yeah, typical man.
Yeah, and I couldn't use any of my magic. But I felt like, I don't know, it was weird. felt like my mind was a little clearer temporarily when it came to like mathematics. It just made more sense. But otherwise, no, I didn't feel great.
Oh. Yeah, I could see that being a bit challenging. Tell you what, if you ever decide that you would like to try anything else, let me know.
Oh, you okay? Can hmm. Hmm.
And as Aiden considers that, we will jump over to the others.
Ta-da.
Knock, knock, knock.
Johnny, before
Fine. Have you?
getting interrupted. but-
Fine. We'll say I'm still on the way
guess-
there. I didn't knock. We can take it back. Have your conversation with your wife. It's a long hallway. Annis has food and she doesn't want to spill the coffee, so she's going slow.
Like, Penelope's been up and she's both, like, super happy because, well, but also she's just kind of, like, cranky because of the dreams she's been having, so it's like, honey, I don't want to go to bed.
I know, but we should probably get up, or you're not going to be able to get to sleep later tonight. And while I don't think I'm going to let you get to sleep later tonight, I'd still like you to try. Besides, I think I smell coffee.
Yeah. But is it kind of weird to say I'm kind of tired of falling asleep?
I mean, as someone who suffered from recurring nightmares involving Mr. Charlie Daniels, I can understand that a little bit, but I have a feeling yours is a bit more interactive than mine.
Yeah. It's just like, it almost feels like I'm having to interact constantly. All day, every day. I'm awake, I'm interacting. I'm asleep, I'm interacting with people.
You could probably tell him to give you some space.
Kinda can't, though.
I think they'd understand. If not, we could go get Lucretia to send me in there and I could explain this.
I mean, the way things are going, I won't have to deal with this too much longer anyway.
You're gonna need some actual rest at some point too, otherwise you might as well just be staying up all night.
Yeah. Like, I just want one night of sleep. Where I don't have to be like... It's like, I want to be friends. And I think we are friends. I think. I don't... Can't fucking tell, Johnny.
I mean, my understanding is that she's kind of hard to really pin down, otherwise they would have done it.
Yeah. It's like, I'm tired of having to be both a friend and I guess a fucking diplomat at this point.
Yeah, your job's kind of rough like that.
Ugh.
Well, pick one or the other then. Like, just be your friend and let your work boss decide if that's still doing your job.
I guess so. You're right.
Like, what are they going to do? Fire you?
I mean, they could.
And then what? Who's going to take your job? Who could do it as good as you do?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Besides,
Just
if they
gonna
get too uppity, you can just summon them in a toilet and then flush.
I probably could. They would not like that very much.
Especially if you get one of the ones with the blue stuff.
Like, Vivian definitely wouldn't like it. Nimue would just be like, what the fuck?
She's distracted anyway, right?
Yeah, 99% of the time. The other 1%, she's still distracted.
That sounds right.
Ugh.
But we should probably get you some food. Get you some delicious, delicious wake-up juice and see where the day takes us.
The smell of the coffee is slowly getting stronger.
And who knows, maybe we'll go to Camelot today.
I mean,
That's a little...
that would be a thing. Do they still give out free swords to anyone who can pick them up there? Because, you know, I could use one.
You know what? We'll find out.
Fair enough.
And if they don't give you one, I'll give you a sword.
From your collection?
Yeah!
Alright, I'll have to learn how to use it, but...
I mean, I know someone who could teach you.
See what I can do with that.
Huh?
I mean, I'm open for instruction.
Let's, as much as I don't want to, let's get out of bed, go get coffee.
Alright.
Let's do this.
Hops
Oh no, I
over.
moved the entire map and not Penelope.
That'll teach you.
The world moves around you.
Yeah!
Would this be a good...
Yes,
Or do you still have...
yes, you can knock.
Right? Knock, knock, knock. Are you being nasty in there, newlyweds?
They're holding hands.
We were thinking about, you know, getting breakfast, but
Oh,
I guess if you insist, we'll put our clothes on.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't find my clothes. I'm sorry, Annis. I have to be super naked in the hallway.
I suppose I can leave all of these delicious
Just throws open the
pastries
door.
And pancake. Oh,
I
And
have on
coffee.
clothes.
good.
Yeah.
So here's your first breakfast and your coffee, and whenever you're ready, you can join us all in the kitchen. I think we're going to do some...
I mean, I can join you guys in the kitchen now.
And it just takes all of it back,
No!
except the coffee.
Oh, okay.
There's more where that came from. I've got a new friend to introduce you to.
Did you... She just, like,
Perhaps.
gestures at her hand. Like,
I think Aiden might also have a new friend, but doesn't want to introduce us.
He's
Well-
he's trying to.
I'm
Bella's
gonna-
just
I'm gonna- It's like, I have to be as neutral, quote unquote, as I can, but as much you can tell me, the better. About,
My new friend?
yeah.
Why? Oh, I know why you have to be neutral. Information I give you isn't going to go to any other.
Who the fuck would I tell?
That's fair. All right. We'll play it by ear. We'll see how it goes,
Okay.
and so we can see it down.
Alright, for your benefit, I'm just going to drag you there and
Okay.
then sync the view.
As Annis passes her room, she's just gonna knock, and there's breakfast in the kitchen whenever you're ready for it.
On my
Goodbye.
way.
Big guy.
I'm the big guy. What are you talking?
She's called him that before.
I know. I'm the biggest guy.
Oh, who's sitting? Okay, I'm sitting opposite.
Yeah, I'm sitting in the spot with no like
Oh, that's
chairs. Yeah.
okay. And I guess I don't know who else we would gather. Oh, did you get any new information from Phantom
it's weird.
friends? By the way, do they need to be here for this?
Who?
Just it's a fucking owl. I didn't realize it was just an owl.
Yeah. It's my mom. So I meant it when she sat on me. Big owl mom. Just. Huh?
For some reason, I remembered her. Maybe not
It
as
wasn't
a-
before.
I
It's just the one I grabbed this time.
Unless
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
It's a fill-in. Yeah.
Like, she didn't have a token before because she's never been on a map.
remember
When you
seeing a
visited the
picture of her.
village, we showed the picture,
just
but we
like a
didn't actually
photo.
do tokens.
Yeah. No, not a
So-
feudalistic owl. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was the generic 5e.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
got
I
it.
can throw it out in there. Boop.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I
yes,
just wasn't
yeah.
expecting
Just an owl.
I wasn't expecting there to just be an owl. I was almost like, is that Nora? Why is she an owl?
Well, you see, Belle turned somebody into an owl already.
Like, as you're walking in, you can hear her explaining to Aiden at length. Yeah, there's all kinds of much better things to be than human. For instance, like, some people want to just be lizards, and then they can just sun all day, and that's very respectful. Other people...
I mean, the sun is very great.
It is nice. Other people like to be bats, like that weirdo out there in the hallway, but he seems nice, so you know. And then some people, prefer to just be a puppy and lay down belly up all day, and that's definitely respectable.
I'm sorry. I'm having a moment from something she said. Was she introduced as Anis's family? Or just a random... Okay, you were joking about that earlier.
Friend of my aunt, not actually family.
Okay.
So you could have rolled insight, and I would have been half lying.
That's why I was like, if she was family, because I know you joked about the names earlier. I was like, wait, did that stick or not? I was like, if she was family and she was just like that weird bat guy, I was like, you don't know the saga of Freddy? You're not family. You're not family. Oh.
I mean, most of the family don't know the saga of the weird bat guy. Like, they've not been given a rundown of what his situation is.
Like,
I don't...
Delta isn't fully privy. Like, they all know about the Sherwood part. They don't know he's a Dompier.
I thought she did. That's why I was like, huh. But yeah, okay, yeah. I got you. We're all in here. Yeah, he's just nodding along to, like, everything she's throwing out there.
Okay, so you got your group here for your, I guess, breakfast at 1 p.m. council.
Right.
Brunch.
It's brunch.
Second breakfast. The true
Yeah.
Penelope style.
I'm taking requests if there's somehow food that you want that is not in this pile.
Anna, have you been cooking breakfast?
I did stop a while ago.
How long did you cook breakfast?
It was a while. There's a lot of people here to feed. Some of us are eating... no, I'm not going to say that. Some of us are having to eat more... because... And she's just gesturing to her command spells.
Sure, Anna. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Does anyone else need to be present for whatever it is that we're doing here? Do we need to get Lupin and Catherine?
I think we're good. Ida just kind of looks back over at Bella, looks at the group, and is like, kind of looks towards Anis. I needed to talk to team about stuff.
We can go somewhere else. Let everyone eat.
Well, I mean, is just like kind of looks over to like he like gets whispers close. Is Belle okay to talk around?
Oh yes, definitely. This is Belle. She's a friend of my aunt.
Penelope's gonna stick out her hand to Belle.
She came from overseas when she heard that I was involved in a Grail War. She wants to help.
Doing what I can.
You know what? I'm gonna roll fucking insight.
Yeah,
No.
I guess I'll roll deception because
Because you're lying?
yeah, I'm lying. That's not even remotely true.
Beautiful.
Good fucking luck.
Can I
I'm
roll
not
with
gonna
advantage
even.
because I know that she was fucking summoning a servant for the Grail War.
Well, it's
You
like
don't have
I knew that too.
I don't think you have to roll if you know she's already done it. Like,
Yeah, it's just Aiden doesn't know she's not done it yet. It's just like he knows she's going to.
Right. I know Penelope can put 2 and 2 together, but what Aiden...
He just doesn't know if she's done it yet. That's why he doesn't know if
I
this is your, like, yeah.
Can I roll and have quadruple advantage because I'm still waiting to roll?
You can roll with advantage, sure.
I believe in you. Oh.
16.
I rolled
mean-
a 20. I'm sorry.
Well, just to clarify, because people misuse this all the time, insight is not a lie detector. So,
I'm
From-
reading you.
from what she's said there, Anna says everything that Anna said, like all of her, like, you know, secondary tells are not triggering on this. You get the impression that Annis is probably, you know, like, she's telling you, like, a story, and you are, like, looking over her. You're interpreting this as, okay, I mean, that's a good story. Whether or not you believe it is ultimately up to you, but she's not giving any signs of stumbling through it. She's not giving you the impression that, like, she's saying stuff that could not be true. There's a lot of people here who have been showing up, and for Aiden, some of these are essentially new people, like he's seen maybe once. So just another person showing up to help out would not be that far-fetched. That said, Penelope has enough context to piece together what's going on, regardless of roles. So
Yeah. I was gonna say, can I just, like... Oh god, I don't even know what the role would be. Is there anything I can do where I'm just, like, looking and I can just fucking tell that this is not prize relative?
Like, not outright. You can try to engage with her and try to find, like, a slip-up or something.
Okay. But yeah, so she would hold her hand out to Belle. And be like, hi, Belle and Penelope.
Off of your insight check from before, you notice a slight twitch when she hears your name.
Oh no, what?
About that at all. I didn't either.
Oh
I've been sitting on that for a while.
no! Amazing! I'm sure the audio fucking peaked there.
I forgot.
Oh, excellent.
And Penelope just, like, raises an eyebrow, like, are you okay, Belle? Does my name sound familiar to you?
I believe it's the name of a cartoon pig.
No.
Oh, I've told you about her. This is my pop star friend.
Ah, the music one, yes. I hear you're very talented.
I am.
She is.
Damn it. I guess you haven't been around to see any of the concerts.
Been overseas.
Over at Seas?
Overseas.
Where from?
My aunt goes kind of everywhere.
Yeah, but, like, I'm asking Belle, not Anna.
I'm a bit of a hermit. I tend to settle down in places for a while, but more importantly, my curiosity is you super famous, traveling the world. What brings you into this mess? Because you are super famous, and I would think that anyone who sees you traveling with this group would know who you are.
That's a good question. And I guess the best answer I can give is that I want to see this Grail War go a certain way. Because I kind of like being alive.
Popular choice. Very good. Happy to help out. She reaches out and she shakes your hand wholeheartedly. Almost like an exaggerated cartoon shake.
Wait, hold on. Important question.
Yeah?
How tall is she?
Oh, that's a Good question.
Oh, I'm gonna check.
Yeah, how tall did she make herself in the Medea disguise?
Because, like... Because she's matching Medea's height right now, which makes her 5'3".
5'3" right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just knew that.
What? I'm not even gonna go into that.
Yeah,
It's
she's
not that
5'3"
I
right now.
calculate her going, oh my god, I'm the same height as her or anything.
Right.
And this is rich coming from somebody who cosplayed Medusa, also going, oh my
man.
god, I'm the same height.
And Izo also. Yep. Anyway.
She is 1 inch shorter while she's pretending. So there you go.
So she's 5'2". Cool.
No. Like her default manifestation, like the one in the token, is an inch taller, which is just funny, and I didn't realize that. Like Cersei's an inch taller than
But
Medea.
she's got like the platform shoes and all that. So.
Yeah, with the shoes, she's a bit taller. Like you can see from the art that she got those big old shoes. But yeah, also she kind of floats, so it doesn't really matter. But you know, got those neat headgear. But yeah, right now while she's in disguise, she is 5'3".
Like, I like your blue hair.
Thank you. Seemed all fashionable.
Also, I like that you're not very tall.
Well, I do what I can.
And then she looks over at Johnny. She's like, that's not me saying that I don't like tall, gorgeous people.
No offense taken. I understand.
There's only room for one 5'10" person in my life.
She stretches and then comes in for a breakfast kiss.
Oh.
Don't be nasty.
We can if we want to.
Yeah. Take that, Annis.
Oh yeah, you should have told me.
I have license to be nasty.
So do I need to go and gather anyone else for this strategy meeting / brunch that we're having, I suppose?
What are we strategizing?
Don't know.
Think so. I mean, if Bella's okay to, I guess she's tight. There's been word on a potential location for Nina.
Oh, I knew that Lupin and Catherine would pull through.
It's gonna be a little tough. There's a village. You said it was south. South of
Yeah,
Forest?
southwest.
Southwest.
In fact, this is a good opportunity for me to share the map since we've not actually shared that on stream yet.
Yay!
So here is the map as currently known.
So, based on what Kwaku said, Einburns are somewhere where it's cold and snowy.
All right, let me sync it up for
I
you.
know I've done scouting, but I do not know where currently.
Based. Oh goodness.
Hold on, I have to add a token for you to see it, I guess. Weird.
Get in there, Merlin.
Get in there, tiny Merlin. Can you be invisible? Nope. Alright, well, Merlin is showing where the party currently is. I will make a party token later. Can you all see now?
No.
Nope. No, all I got is black screen.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Still only got black screen. I'm trying.
You have to zoom out like really.
I'm really zoomed out. I'm also trying so hard to resize this, and it is not. Oh, okay, there we go.
There you go. Alright, so here is the map. Ignore the giant Merlin. He's just on top of your house right now.
Oh, good.
Well, we don't even see him, or I don't see him.
Good. I didn't know if you could see him or not.
Okay, so I see... the red house is us?
Yeah.
The little red house is you. Yep. using
This
those
is how far
basic
we've been.
came with it tokens. So yeah,
And how
in
far
terms of
we've
your
been.
scouting so far, so like there are mountains to like from the north to the southeast from here. Um, and if you go northeast, the mountains get more cold, like snow capped and stuff like that, which you can sort of see a little bit of in this map here. Like the big empty triangles are mountains that are covered in snow. To the northwest, you can see there's a bunch of forest, like these weird little Doug Trio looking things are hills down here. North of those, the hills start having more trees, so that's where like the forest plus like 2 hills come from. And then once you get past that, you get to the area which is the Einosh Forest, which is massive and littered with big red trees and completely drained white to clear forest areas around it. And that's what's up that way. Now to the southwest, like immediately southwest of your location is the big lake that we were talking about. There are some little islands scattered throughout it, but for the most part, it's mostly water. A river runs from that through the kind of foothills towards an additional lake further in, or lake area, and then from there it spreads out into grasslands, which is what the fairly under-detailed things to the southwest are. To the south, it's more trees and hills again, but breaks it up a little bit of mountainous trees. And the little huts type thing on there is an identified town, which is what Catherine was describing, which is apparently a settlement that has a lot of distinctly phantasmal species living in it, not humans. And according to what Catherine shared with you before, there are actual humans living off in the forested hills to the east, which is
So
where
like
they
a bright green.
Yeah, like the brighter green is where that's coming from. So like humans have been coming and going from there, including one with a freakish arm, which she's taking to be a sign that that is where the harvesters have set up once they got here. So they would be more to your south. And for a sense of scale, if you were traveling on this map as a party, by default, if you're just going at like normal on-foot speeds, getting through a hex of this, if it's quick and clear and easy or whatever, you could cover a hex of this in about 4 hours.
Okay.
You could rush through a hex at full speed with no regard for stealth or energy and possibly like risking exhaustion if you do it too long in 2 hours. Or you can sneak through one in 6 hours. So you can kind of decide how you want your pacing to go there. Now, if you go down the rivers and stuff and you're on a boat, that goes a lot faster. But that's kind of our baseline. So again, that's like for most squares, if it's not expressly difficult terrain, like straight up mountains or murder forest or something, then you can assume 4 hours at normal speed, 2 hours if you're rushing almost recklessly, and 6 hours if you're trying to go through it kind of on the down low. So it's a big place, by the way. You could probably tell from zooming out that this is a much bigger map than this. This is just how far you've managed to scout so far.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So
We should know where the church is too, right? We were given.
You were given directions to where the church is. The church is located at so like that river that you have that goes to the west. Eventually, after it hits that second body of water and branches out again, that will then take you to what is essentially a coastal area, and the church is there. There's like another town type place, and there's the church set up there. So if you were to have a boat, you could get to the church in about a day of just straight boating through this, give or take any problems that you run into. For the most part, though, it's straightforward. Getting there from your place is much easier because it's downriver. Going back up is a lot harder.
And then you said it starts getting cold and snowy to the north?
So it gets cold and snowy if you go northeast because that's where your mountains are. But also, like looking out from here, because you kind of have a decent view from where you're at, there are snow-covered mountains past the Einosh Forest to the north. If you go to the southeast, there's also more snow-covered stuff. Like, in general, the landscape of this area resembles a bit of a crescent with a lot of water to the west that you can kind of see from here, just not well. And it seems like everywhere where the mountains are, the eastern/northern halves of it, which are further away from like the inner crescent of this, much colder. So if you're looking for somewhere snowy, that could be pretty much anywhere in the outermost rung of this crescent land mass, as far as you've seen so far. Like, that's from your like flying up and scouting. So you've got a general idea, but you can't really tell from flying around the full details of it, which is why they're not filled out on the map.
Okay.
So yeah, Aiden relays that information. It's like, so it seems good old buddy friend, and he's like, obviously very sarcastic, doing the good old Anna's sarcasm. Good old buddy friend Gareth has been making trades with that town.
Oh, the guy, the
With the
guy
arm.
with the arm from the Harvester.
It was an ogre arm, right? Or a half orc?
Troll arm.
Troll arm? There we go. Yeah.
Reference from the boat.
Yep.
And the London Underground.
Yep. So problem.
Sorry, it wasn't London, it was Paris. The Paris Underground. Okay.
So next thing, it seems like he might have already summoned his servant, which it's about timing for, but
understandable.
She's very loud, apparently. She has flaming red hair. She gets very excited easily. She's probably ready for a fight.
Okay. There's a lot of people that could be. We'll probably need more information to figure out who she is, but that's a start.
We've got a day and a half.
Can I make some kind of roll to see if I have an idea of who it could be?
That's not enough information for you to really run by.
Okay.
Like, you could probably surmise without having to roll, just from the research that you've done, that if they've got red hair, then they're probably a Western servant as opposed to an Eastern one. But based on your very recent experience, when it comes to servants, their hair color may be completely irrelevant to the part of the world that they're from.
That's
so
fair.
It's kind of hard to really run too much on that. Like, if you want to try to draw some conclusions, like, the biggest clue you have right now is apparently their demeanor.
Back in on the boat, he also ended up with the Berserker servant, right?
Oh, the item he won?
Yeah.
The item that he won was the rider item.
Rider, okay. Oh yeah, he did have rider. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that he summoned a rider, but that could be a clue. Well, we'll just have to see what happens. He's our first big obstacle, obviously, so at least we know roughly where to go looking for him. It goes without saying that we absolutely cannot let him come here.
Yeah.
Or give him any hint that we might be here.
So yeah. That's the biggest issue, as we need to get them away from the building where Nina's being held. And just distract as long as possible. Hopefully, I plan to take care of the problem. I'm not letting this slip by. So,
And how are you going to take care of the problem?
Well, that's where I was gonna get to. Well, Bella, nice to meet you. Welcome aboard. If you're Annis's friend, you can be trusted. Aiden just kind of mental notes to himself for Inan that he can just appear.
Okay. Whoop. And suddenly, a man appears. Would you like to describe him for everyone?
Yeah, he looks very rowdy. He looks like he could be a bit smirk. Very, very, like, I mean, the glasses, honestly. He got his party shades. But there's an air about him.
What kind of air?
That's fair. All the air. All the air. It seems like he gives off a very, like, wild vibe, is what it feels like to you. But that's just appearances.
Spell that name, I-N-A-N, maybe?
Nope. It is, here we go. A-E-N-O-N. Enon.
And have you said that out loud?
Yes.
Okay.
Pleasure to meet all of you.
Oh, likewise.
I wasn't sure if, you've had your process yet? We've been scouting around. And, yeah. Goal. He can't do anything, the Butcher. Can't touch us. Can't touch other humans. Until the battle with Yon is done. What better way than make it so he can't hit Inan for a while? It'd be frustrating. We take care of what we need to take care of while we have that time to bide, and as long as my concentration isn't broken, we just tear them apart, one by one.
Okay, so explain.
Yeah, what battle with Yon?
Well,
Like, are you taking on my alter ego?
the contract specified that until he fights Aiden's servant in the Grail War, he can't do anything.
Nope.
So you're
Until one of the
proposing
servants
that
fall.
we draw it out for as long as possible.
Preferably so, because as long as his servant is alive and my servant, he can't do anything. And if I make my servant untouchable, well then his servant's gonna have a hell of a time getting to him.
How are you doing that?
Well, I have this fun little trick called, oh gosh. Let me pull up the name. I have a fun trick called a resilient sphere. Nothing can go through, nothing can go out. If Inan is willing, then I just place it on him. I can do that for a minute.
Wouldn't they just attack you?
Yeah.
So here's the fun part. I want him to.
And you know I can't help you if I'm inside of that, right?
I mean, I could just let it go at that point. But here's the thing. If I'm attacked and the pack breaks, he loses his powers. He's just a normal guy. So I dare him. I don't think he will. I know he's smarter than that.
So what you're proposing is we're distracting the Butcher and this redhead rowdy lady. And then while that's happening, we're fighting all of the other harvesters and then also the Butcher and his servant. And beating them all to death. With our hands, basically.
Pretty much I'll be throwing hands on him, yes.
Well,
Now, if the other harvesters want to give up afterwards and turn a new leaf after seeing the butcher being pulverized in nothingness, I'm here for redemptions and people doing good things. I like giving second chances. However, if they do not concede, then that's the path they chose, and they will get the response to that is necessary.
Okay. How many times a day can you do that spear thing?
I can do it 3. However, I would also like to prepare him and myself with something else of that caliber. So preferably 1. Unless I can store some magic ahead of time, which is something I've been working on, but because I don't know how many gems we've gotten in the time we've been searching. We haven't really figured that out.
Yeah, we'll come up with that
Yeah.
before you get there.
Yeah.
We'll roll for
I've been working on a glyph of warding. Preferably I can store some magic in there that can help bolster and keep us going in the time being. Either another one of that spell or another death ward. As we've seen with the Zappy situation, we always prepare it first now.
Okay, so until your servant and his servant fight, if
And a victor has been determined,
the
not
victor
just
has been
fight.
determined, he and the other harvesters can't do anything at all.
Just to clarify, it doesn't say that in the contract.
I thought we said that. It was until a victor was determined.
The exact wording was copy pasted into the contract in your inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I'm going back because
That's
I
why I'm
thought we
asking this
literally
now.
said that.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking this now.
Hold on.
You know me. I'm all up for picking up harvesters and beating other harvesters with them. I'll do it all day long, but this is going to be the first big battle. We're going in with some advantages, but the harvesters are also not stupid. Oh, some of the harvesters are not stupid.
Okay, I thought we clearly said until a victor was determined, 'cause I remember that being. But
I mean,
it's
you negotiated with him back and forth, and this was the language that you all settled to.
okay. Well then, retracting statement. Uh. Okay, so we have until we face off. At that point, then it's a chase game.
So as soon as you and the butcher start
Make
fighting,
blows. Mm-hmm.
the contract is good. As soon as that happens, they have free reign to do whatever they want. Okay.
So what I can do is make a distraction loud enough they can't ignore it, pull them away, and y'all can join me there if you'd like. And that'll give Catherine and Lupin the chance to go break Nina out. So the goal is to drive them or lure them far, far away from that base, wherever we find it.
Them and the Einsburns are the only two that we have any solid leads on, and their lead is much more solid. So we know about where they are. We know we're going to have to fight them anyway, and we should probably just go ahead and do it first. I think it's a solid plan. I think if we try and plan too much without more information, we're just going to be shooting ourselves in the foot. The Grail War does not start officially until tomorrow, so we do have some time to rest and prepare and do whatever. Looks over at Penelope and kind of winks.
We should probably decide where you want to fight them.
Yeah.
Well, not here. Not anywhere remotely near here. In case things go wrong, we don't want to lead them back here to people that are not as equipped to fight them.
Trying to get that picture of the map pulled up again. Where'd it go?
I will share it with you again.
Thank you. I tried to make it smaller and it got rid of it completely.
Once again, I've got nothing but black.
I will share the location.
Yay.
I think it's just taking a while to load. I've still got nothing.
There it is.
Oh.
I didn't get it. No.
Cross the lake.
I didn't get it. I'm sad.
You still can't
So
see it?
that's like
No, yeah, it didn't pop up.
8.
Hold on, let me see if it's... Nope.
12. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
To get to the village.
I would like to not bring it
if
by
we're
the
not
village.
sleepy, we can probably get to the village area in about half a day. If we go through the wood. We could also take a boat down the river, but I would rather cross through the woods than cross through the
Well, if they're directly south of us in that forest,
They're like in that little village next to them.
Or well,
that's what I'm saying.
where
They're
that's
right
where they
there. Yeah.
platoon, but that's not necessarily where their base is. So we could potentially go to the village and try and get more intel. We could go to the village and make a lot of noise to draw out the harvesters. We need to figure out where their base is first, though, right?
Yeah, it's somewhere in that light green patch, however far down it extends.
And like trying to scry on one of them. We know at least the butcher and Gareth. Trying to scry on one of them probably wouldn't do much.
The butcher still has magic that is, and I'm going to assume yes. I'm assuming the whole base is
Scry proof. So, I mean, once we figure out where the base is, we could send him a message and be like, "Hey, bitch, meet me here and we can have a fight."
It's one way of doing it.
But we have to figure out where the base is. It's the only problem, because that's the whole point, right? You want Lupin and Catherine to be able to get Nina out.
Yes.
And who knows who knows what they've been doing. There's no telling how many there are, either.
How quiet it's gotten, I'm sure he's brought a bunch.
Right. And they're not all going to be as easy to deal with as good buddies, Leopold and Elias.
As long as Inan isn't around when we're scouting, can't do anything. It's just me scouting. Contract hasn't. He can't prop it or pop it.
But while we're looking for them, all of the four other masters and contingents can also be looking. So, and if we make a big enough noise, we might draw their attention too to the fight. Can't assume it's just going to be a one-on-one knockdown drag-out fight.
Oh no, not at all. But at the same time, if they know a huge fight is happening, it's a question of would they take that risk and join the fray, or hide out and go for the pickings afterwards, or completely avoid it altogether.
I'd say they're probably going to look and see what the opportunities are without using their resources, but presumably at least one of them has a berserker, so they might not have a choice. I'm sorry, what was Penelope saying?
Don't worry about it.
So we can go ahead and go out scouting before the Grail War starts, trying to find where the harvesters are. Pulling up in here is not going to do any good. Right?
Right. Ennis, have you even summoned your servant yet?
That's what I wanted to ask. You're gonna need time to do that.
You've been up all morning, and I assume you haven't just been making breakfast.
I did a summon.
Okay. And I assume it went over well?
It went over well.
Okay.
I have a caster servant.
Okay. I've seen items now.
Right. We don't know who can be. We don't know if anyone is scrying on us right now. We don't know who can read minds. So I feel like the less information we have about servants in our heads, the better.
I mean, do you not trust me?
I do, but like I said, the less information everyone has about servants, the better. The
Well,
fact
I
that
mean-
we know a name for items is probably already too much information. I'm just going to go ahead and assume it's not the true name. Because giving away the true name this early in the game would not be a good idea.
No, I gave him a name.
Oh,
I didn't want him to be nameless. Yeah, no, that's not his actual name. No.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to just be like, yo, dude, so he gave him a name.
And from what I was able to gather from talking to Lord El-Melloi II, keeping things like noble phantasms a secret for as long as possible is also a good strategy. It's not that I don't trust everyone at this table. I absolutely do. But we don't know who can do what yet.
cool. So my job is gonna be even harder. Okay.
I will
fine.
tell you in private things that you really need to know. If you really need to know them.
Well, nobody apparently wants to do anything. It's not just you. It's you. It's Ivan. It's
I just literally told you, we're here. That's why I gathered you here.
you haven't told me shit. You just told me that your servant's name isn't his real name.
Isn't that like the first rule? I literally had him appear before you.
That's appearing. I don't know shit.
It's not that I think you're going to run off to the enemy and sell us. But like I said, mages are capable of terrible things, and if anyone here was to get captured and pried for information, or the mind read, or the thing that you can do where you can charm people into telling you what you want them to hear, I'm not making any sense.
No, you're making.
No, it's already happened before is the problem. We've had to stop that kind of situation.
So that's why you guys don't trust me anymore.
That is not.
No! That's literally for everybody. That's not a you thing. You all are going to know that he's my servant. There's no way to not see it on the field when I have to clash with the butcher. But we already know the butcher can compel anyone. I don't need the butcher having the upper hand from any of you. I don't want to put you at that risk for him to target you. It's not a you thing, Penelope.
It never is. Like I've been trying to get help to... It's like I've been trying to get help to get through this Grail War, and it's like every time I've tried to get help at this point, I've run into another wall. And another wall. And another wall. And another wall. You would think with as many doors as I've opened, I would stop running into walls. But it just seems like the more doors I open, the more walls I run. And the less people actually talk or tell. And
I just... Help me understand how giving a true name would help in this situation, because that is the biggest weakness from what I am understanding. I don't understand how that would help.
I mean, Annis hasn't even shown us hers. As far as I know, hers is still hiding.
I mean, at some point, her servant will have to fight, and we'll likely see them. No, we haven't seen Annis' servant. All I can do is just do the best to protect all of you.
Well, what can you glean from Einon's appearance about his abilities? Would revealing my servant necessarily be any use?
I mean, we would be able to talk to them. So, and here's my thing. It's like, fake names or not, you can talk to people and get to know them. That's the important part. They're not just gonna hide the entire time. I would hope they could be themselves. They're here with us for the time being. To everyone else outside this room, it's just a friend. To my mother and to my friends who know, and by proxy, someone Anna said she trusts and is like family, you will know. But I'm not going to tell him that he can't talk to anybody else. He can't enjoy his time while he's here, because it's gonna be a rough fucking time that he has to do this. But I don't want to put him or any of you at risk. But I do want all of you to bond.
Melby's just like sitting with her like arms crossed and like sitting on the table. Or she's not sitting on her table, the arms are on the table. And she's just kind of like got her chin just kind of hidden behind her arms, like she's just...
And we know that your boss might have the best intentions for phantasmals in mind, but we don't know who she talks to. And there's no way for us to know that I assume she knows what you know.
I mean, not right now. Because can't even talk to me.
Really?
Yeah.
In here, or just in general?
Like, which boss are you talking about?
The freshwater one.
I mean, kind of knows what I know. I know some stuff she doesn't know. And then my other boss I can't even talk to anymore.
Jameson?
No, not
No, Lucretia.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
I can't talk to her anymore, and
That's fair. That's
now it's kind of... I kind of have to do what her job was. Figure out what's what. Just sure we're not taking with the wrong people. Finding out, like, who wants what wish. Finding out, like...
Well,
it's...
we've both been upfront about what our goals are. I don't understand why knowing who our servants are, it comes into it at all. I suppose knowing what their goals are would be relevant, but you can just assume they either want what we want or the goals align at least, otherwise they wouldn't have shown up.
spread myself thin with this, especially considering I'm not even participating.
What do you want to do? Like, ignore... Not ignore. You're essentially saying you're picking up Lucretia's mantle.
Kind of. Not really. I don't...
So your
That's the thing. I don't even know.
goal is to.
Because originally I was just gonna help her, and...
So
like-
her goal is to make sure the Grail War doesn't end in catastrophe. So that's your
Yeah.
goal now too.
Yeah.
So do you need to go out and meet with the other masters and find out about them too?
Yeah.
So maybe you shouldn't come with us to fight the Harvester. We know what they
Well,
want.
it's like I've been trying to... and help us fight the Butcher.
I would
Because
prefer
You would prefer what?
that you be there. I don't know why excluding you would be beneficial. You have just a right and a stake to be there.
I wasn't suggesting you didn't. I was more thinking that maybe while we are making a lot of noise fighting the Harvesters, you'd be infiltrating the mages, or looking for Umbrasfield, or finding out who took Lovisa's command seal.
Probably what I'm gonna... Because... well, the one person I had gotten to guarantee that they would be there is currently dead, so...
No,
And then the other person I've been trying to ask to help is, well, I don't know where the she is. And the people who would help me who'd be able to help me find her won't tell me.
Who are you looking
And-
for?
I just...
Or if you can't name them,
what? She can't
Say that
really
again.
do it now until I find her, so... And even then, like, the people who could help me find her don't want to help me find her because they don't want to talk to her. And she doesn't want to talk to them. And it's just like, Ugh. I've been trying to get this to work all summer. It's like the brick walls.
you want me to help try and find her for you?
Who are you looking for? I'm very lost. I mean, you don't have to say if you don't want to, obviously.
I mean, you guys know her.
We know a lot of people.
That is true. I mean, you guys have talked to her before. In a certain space.
Anna's gestures to her head.
Uh-huh.
Oh. So she would help us.
Iden's still lost. I'm lost.
The big M?
Yeah.
Is Iden still lost?
I'm still lost.
We're sitting next to each other, right? I can't see because the map's big.
Yeah, we're next to each other.
Yeah, you're all at the same table.
You'll just lean over and whisper.
No, he's just gonna be like, no, you know what? No. It's not even worth me trying to hide this anymore. Like, I've been talking to Morgan Le Fay.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't.
Anna's
I was
looked
thinking-
over at Cersei to gauge if she has a reaction to that at all.
She doesn't really seem to react to it.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. I thought you meant like from our side. I was confused.
Yeah.
I was confused there for no. Okay. Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I've been...
Right. That is something that was also a goal here.
It's like I've been trying to negotiate between the three of them all summer, on top of doing the tour, and on top of doing everything else. It's a good thing I have Jameson and Jolene to handle, like, that side of things, because I would not have been able to do this without them. but it's like,
You're worn out.
yeah, no shit. I'm completely worn out, and I'm running out of ideas. And it's like Vivian and Nimue don't want Morgan to wake up unless she does this one thing. And then she does not want to do this one thing, but she still wants to wake up. But none of them want to work together at all. None of them want to put aside their differences or reconcile, even though I've told them they all have the exact same fucking goal.
What is if we're able to know
And
the
I told
one
them if they don't have the same goal, then they at least have, or at least I thought they trusted me and had faith in me. But I was like, you can have faith in my goals and you can trust in me and use that as a way to start working on your differences. And they're not doing that. None of them are doing that. And then I don't know where the fuck Diana and Buck are. I don't know where Diana's been. I can't fucking find her.
So
It's like after the training, she's basically just. I don't know where she. So I can't get her help. And then, as far as I know, according to what I've been able to determine, apparently I might need her fucking help to do this anyway. Because apparently I can't do it by myself. I thought I was supposed to do it by myself because that's the impression I've been under the whole summer. And then I found out very recently that I'm either going to need to convince Vivian and Nimue to do it themselves, which they're not gonna,
no.
or I'm going to have to do it and get somebody who represents Nimue to do it too.
Right. So you
Well,
need
Fucking hard that's going to be.
that's yeah.
can you
I have to convince one of the paladins,
Hmm.
or I have to convince one of her clerics, which I don't know any of her.
Penelope?
I don't even think she has any. I have to convince one of her emissaries, and the only one I know is Diana. And she just does whatever Nimue says, and Nimue does whatever Vivian tells her to do.
Penelope.
And I don't know.
We might
How did
be able to convince Beach.
he won't do it? He's one of her paladins.
Penelope.
What?
Can you ignore Nimue entirely? Eldath is here. Eldath exists.
No one has specified that I need Eldath.
What I'm saying is no one specified that you don't. You could try without her. What's the harm? Worst comes, it doesn't work. Then you know.
You need
Best
to find,
part, it does. And you don't need her.
need to find Camelot too, though.
Hold on, now I'm actually looking this up because I'm like, I don't fucking remember. Hold on.
So okay, harvesters can't do anything until
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, like, it was specified that it has to be someone who represents Nimue. So, as much as I respect Eldath, because lovely, I have talked to her. I've said hello. She didn't say anything back because she never does. But she's
So,
lovely.
okay.
But she's not going to help me in this one.
What? Okay, we wake up Morgan. She helps us fight the harvesters. What happens after that? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. 'Cause I also haven't thought that far ahead. I've been so busy trying to play very diplomat
I mean,
that I just.
I wish I had known before we came down here that a paladin would have worked because I
No,
think
the paladins won't do it.
you've asked them.
There's like, no offense to them, but they're probably so far up, but they can't bring themselves to this. And maybe that's me just getting frustrated because I've been having to deal with Morgan, who is a fucking sassy pants. Ugh. And like it sucks. And I feel bad saying that about her because I do consider her a friend at this point. And I consider the other ladies my friends at this point. I don't know.
So
And I'm making a whole bunch of drama about this and I apologize.
Don't
your
apologize.
options
You're stressed.
for followers of Nimue that you know of include Diana or the Paladins.
Please.
Diana, yeah, you're right. Diana's never going to go
Oh.
against Nimue. She wouldn't.
And I know a couple of others, but they wouldn't do it either.
I have sent a message.
If we knew what Morgan would do, like if waking her up would be a benefit to this war, we might be able to convince, if not each one of the other paladins. But we have, well, not no way of contacting them, but it's a lot harder unless they're here in Dream's End. Don't actually know where they are.
Pulling up my list again.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I've sent a DM. Okay. Okay.
The harvesters can't do anything in this guerrilla war at all until they fight Aiden and his servant. They don't need to necessarily be the first thing we do.
I'm gonna not change the conversation, but I found the list of the things that she was gonna do.
Okay.
So what I asked her to do is I told her that I want her help to keep this Grail War from ending in tragedy and from it ending up in the wrong hands. And I told her I want her to help us navigate Dream's End because she's like, not that she can really do too much because she's asleep, but you know, she basically lives here.
All right.
And I asked her to help us take out the butcher and Inosh.
Right. So finding Camelot and waking her up should be our first step, not fighting the harvester. We need to keep Aiden and Einon. Oh, that's going to be
Enon.
Sorry.
You're
Enon.
good.
Away. Big guy and other big guy.
Oh, trust me, I can play keep away.
Look, we need to keep them away from the harvester. We need to play keep away with the harvester.
Yeah.
And find Camelot and find someone to help us wake up Morgan, I suppose. That seems like that's step one.
And I just feel like that's the right thing to do.
And that's what we should do.
Yeah, I agree.
We can give them a wild goose chase and keep them busy for a bit. Maybe even have them run into some of the other masters that they can't deal with.
You know, I love a good run.
Yeah.
I can stretch my
And along
legs.
the way, we can be figuring out who the hell from Clock Tower is here, who killed Lovisa, where Umberspiel is. We haven't found any hide or hair of Camelot in our scouting, but this place is enormous, so we'll find it eventually, I suppose.
Okay, so
that sounded sadder than it
yeah.
Right.
Like so I think
just an air bubble in my throat.
So story-wise, next step will then be you're looking for Camelot. So that will be the direction that we're going in. That can be your starting point, and we'll just make a note that if
would be that Nina, like, maybe we need to like fight the harvesters, but know that we're planning on running as soon as we get a signal from the Lupons, so they can get Nina out.
Well, they can't do anything until they catch up with us. So as long as we're away, we can get to Camelot.
Yeah, but like, what if the butcher does something to Nina in the meantime? I thought that was your big like worry, was that he'd do something to Nina.
Well, so he can't if he knows he'll lose his powers. I'm pretty sure he's not gonna do that.
Okay. So Nina is functionally safe until we fight the Harvester.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is why I'm saying this in my not character voice.
Yeah. It's the he will become a mortal man pretty much who will have no power. Like he'll have a servant, but he will very much be so vulnerable that I do not think he would risk it. He's already got what he wants, and he'll continue. He's going to keep it safe.
Okay.
So, plan is to try and find Camelot and try and get someone to help us wake up Morgan. We either need to convince Diana, which ain't happening, or convince one of the paladins, or find another person that follows Nimue.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is our direction then. We can talk about how you'd like to go about doing that for next time, and that will be where we're going story-wise. You've got a day and a half before the Grail War kicks off proper, and you can use that gathering information or doing diplomacy, or up to you. We can coordinate that in a chat, and then we'll jump in with the next step after that. But hey, you did it. You got some servants.
Yeah. We don't know where Buck and Diana are. Do we know where the paladins are? Do we know where they were last?
I mean, I can scry on Diana or a book if you really want me to, because I think it'd be funny.
I mean,
does scry work? If they're not in Dream's End, does scry work?
It should.
Scry is restricted to current plane, I believe, which Dream's End is still part of.
Yeah, because it was that weird Suedo, right? It's not technically another plane.
Yeah. What it means is that it's a little bit harder, but it's still possible. Okay. Because unlike, D&D, like in our setting, it's all still Earth. It's just in layers. So.
And I know Buck. I've worn that man's pants.
Yeah, and if you want to be the brave one who scries on Buck, then that is up to you.
Oh, I will.
I don't think Diana will defect. I'm not even saying this is a defection. I think between our options, Beach,
Buck is gonna pull another.
No, Beach is the more likely to want to help us out, and yeah, like I cannot see Diana. Like story-wise, I obviously think it would be cool if it was Penelope and Diana doing it, but I don't think she will be convinced.
I think Beach is talkable too, though. Yeah.
If he's in Dream's End or can get here.
So you've got some options.
Right.
Out of character.
Yeah. You've got some options. You've got some directions that you can take it in. I'm going to wrap up for here before we get pulled into another, character drama adventure. But
no next session. I'm looking at Buck.
You guys look at whatever you want to do. But I'm going to wrap it up for right now. So. Okay. All right, and by next session, I will give each of you, your fully statted out servants.
I still need to roll for you.
Yeah, we'll need to do that rolling, and we can handle that pretty directly. Yeah. And I will also finally give updated Johnny over as well. Yay. So everyone gets a new character sheet to play with. Hooray! We're back. We're doing it.
Woohoo!
Go team. All right, so thank you, everybody. We are here. We're going to be drama.
Yay.
So much drama. Good night. Backup recording on the internet.
There'll be some drama.
Yeah.
There's so much I have to figure out still. So I can just be like, hey, dogs, here are good ideas. But those ideas have to happen.
Yeah.